The rat took one look at me and chose death. I mean that. Beast-taming sect, outer sect arena, my 9th contract attempt. They pulled a spirit-seeking rat out of the cage, the lowest tier of spirit beast there is, a furry little nothing. The butler tossed it onto the stone platform. My talisman lit up, wrapped the thing in yellow light, and the rat started headbutting the light shield. Bang, bang, bang. Each hit harder than the last. Then a wet little plop. The body went limp. A trickle of blood at the mouth. Twitch, twitch, still. It killed itself, rather than bond with me. So, good morning. Let me back up. My name is Lee Fan. 2 lives, technically. I transmigrated into this cultivation world 3 years ago. I woke up in the body of the sect's #1 good-for-nothing. 9 failed contracts. That's a record, not the fun kind. In a beast-taming sect, no beast means no future. So I did the chores. All of them. I shoveled spirit beast manure. I ate everyone's glares. I kept my head down for 3 straight years. That talisman cost me half a month of contribution points. It was my last one, and the rat picked suicide. The whole arena went silent. Then it exploded into laughing. 9th time, new record. Even the rat had standards, apparently. I crouched and poked the little corpse, cold, translucent, and this fire lit up in my chest. Was Shu Hao really just a complete waste? A voice cut in behind me. Waste. I knew that voice. Wang Yang, grandson of outer sect elder Wang Tianhai. Picture the wettest rich kid NPC you can imagine, then ring him out. Beside him stood a woman in moon-white robes, cold face, graceful, the kind of pretty that makes a room forget to breathe. Li Mingzhu, outer sect's #1 genius, undisputed top of the whole heap. Useless trash, Wang Yang snapped. The contract failed, so why aren't you gone? Don't waste senior sister Li's time. I didn't move. Wrong call. Dinged lost face in front of his crush, so he stepped up and slapped me across the face. Bang. She refining stage against an absolute 0. It wasn't a fight, it was a demolition. I flew. I crashed into the slabs at the edge of the square. Something in my chest shifted. A sweet taste rose in my throat. Blood ran down my chin. The crowd cheered him on like he'd cured a plague. Brother Wang, you're awesome. This kind of trash should have been kicked out ages ago. Li Mingzhu didn't glance at me. Not once. She walked straight to the contract table. She took Wang Yang's caged moon leopard. She waved one jade hand. Silver runes sank into the beast's forehead. Contract successful. 2nd spirit beast. Foundation establishment mid-stage. The crowd gasped like they'd seen a god. Inner sect position secure. Great master's talent. And me? Coughing blood in the dirt. Beneath notice. In this world, the weak don't get sympathy. They get stepped over. I lay there and felt every bad thing at once. Humiliation. Anger. Resentment. On what grounds? Why does she stand up there while I get kicked like a stray? Why should I? And that's when a voice went off inside my skull. A strong sense of resentment and desire for conquest detected. Conditions met. Jade Beast Contract System. Activating. Activation successful. Concussion talking, I figured, but it got clearer. New player gift pack distributed. Congratulations, host. You've obtained Jade Beast Contract Symbol. Bronze. ×1. An old bronze talisman floated up in my mind. Under it, the fine print that rewrote my whole life. Can cross one large realm to forcibly contract a target of the opposite sex. Make them your exclusive Jade Beast. The Jade Beast cannot harm the host. 50% of its daily cultivation returns to you. Let that land. Forced contract. Cross a realm. I was Chi refining level 2. Li Mingzhu, that ice queen looking down on all creation, was foundation establishment mid-stage. One big realm apart. Exactly one. I lifted my head, blood and spit dripping off my chin. I looked at that cold, moon-like figure high above everyone, and I grinned so wide it probably looked like a seizure. Aren't you very capable? Don't you look down on the trash? Soon, senior sister, soon, you're mine. Here's the thing about power fantasies. They only look easy from outside. I had 1 card, 1 slot, 1 shot. Fail and I die in a ditch. So I didn't charge her screaming. I dragged my broken body up the mountain path. Disciples parted around me so my bad luck wouldn't rub off. Some of them figured I was going up there to jump off a cliff. Fine, let them think it. I crawled into the bushes at a bend in the trail. This was the only way back to Tingshua Cottage, where Li Mingzhu lived. I lay flat in the grass. I bled quietly. I brought up the panel one more time. Jade Beast Contract Symbol, Bronze. 1 card remaining. Contract slot, 1 of 1. You only have 1 chance. It can only succeed. Failure is not an option. Footsteps. She came. Light as walking on clouds, cold as ever, and right behind her, licking her boots the whole way, Wang Yang. Dinged brought her a tier 3 moon shadow leopard, bought from the intersect at a high price. Ding was laying it on thick. Take it, senior sister, a little something before you enter the inner gate. His eyes crawled over her back like he owned it. Lick it, buddy. Lick it hard. The goddess you're drooling over is about to become my personal pet. Li Mingzhu felt the disgusting gaze. Her brows furrowed. Her cold voice cut him off. I appreciate the kindness, junior brother Wang, but I, Li Mingzhu, do not owe favors. She'd repay him in kind. Just a few more days of enduring this, she thought, and the sky is high and the sea is wide. Then she caught the faintest something in the bushes at her feet. She turned. She was about to leave. Too late. A dark shape sprang up. That was me. Faster than I'd ever moved. Everything I had at its limit. Her pupils shrank. Foundation establishment instincts screamed at her to react. No distance, no time. Smack. The bronze talisman slapped flat against her stomach. You're asking for it, she snarled. She unleashed her spiritual power to blow me away. Also too late. Bzzz. The talisman flared gold and swallowed her whole. An irresistible, domineering force poured into her sea of consciousness. Her mental energy, her precious foundation cultivation, the thing she was so proud of. All of it, fragile as wet paper, shattered to pieces. Target identified. Li Mingju. Forced contract in progress. 10%. 30. 70. No, she cried in her heart. She watched, helpless, as the gold light turned into intricate runes and imprinted themselves on her soul. Everything she was connected to in the world, forcibly cut off. Then reconnected to something new. The source of her intense resistance. Me. Wang Yang, meanwhile, went from shock to fury. Li Fan, you son of a bitch. How dare you seduce senior sister Li? I'll skin you alive. And he swung a killing palm at my head. Qi refining great perfection. No mercy, right in front of his crush. Kill the disgusting fly. I was busy holding the talisman. I couldn't dodge. The blow was about to land. And then it wasn't me who flew. It was Wang Yang. Li Mingju, still wrapped in gold, her tightly closed eyes snapping open, waved one hand. A beam of condensed energy blasted her own simp 10 meters into a big tree. Ding crashed. Ding rolled. Ding spat blood. Why, senior sister? Why did you hit me? Shouldn't you have killed the trash? She was more baffled than he was, because she hadn't decided to move. Her body moved on its own. At the exact moment Wang Yang struck, a cold, emotionless voice had gone off in her mind. Owner detected in mortal danger. Jade Beast Guardian mode. Automatically activated. Owner? Jade Beast? Her mind went white with a buzz. She looked down at the ragged boy, blood still at his mouth, grinning up at her. Master, it's him? And I am the Jade Beast? Boom. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt. She, the outer sect's #1 genius, future inner elite, became a useless spirit beast. Contract successful. Congratulations, host. You've successfully contracted your first Jade Beast, Li Mingju. And this warm, pure river of cultivation started flowing into me through a connection I couldn't see. My internal injuries knitted shut while I watched. My parched meridians drank. The bottleneck at level 2 loosened. It popped. Cool. So awesome. This feeling is amazing. I stood. I dusted myself off. I walked over to my brand new first spirit beast, who was still frozen solid. I looked into her eyes, which were full of humiliation, rage, and confusion, and I laughed even harder. Senior sister, from today, you're my first spirit beast. Please guide me going forward. I'll give her credit. She didn't cry. She reached for a sword. A long sword gleaming with cold light appeared out of thin air. It hummed. It carried a sharp, killing intent. It shot straight at my forehead. I stood still. I didn't move an inch. I actually had time to yawn. The flying sword was less than 3 inches from my nose, and all its momentum vanished at once. It dropped straight to the ground. Li Mingju's pupils contracted. What happened? Senior sister, I said, picking my ear. Haven't you eaten yet? Why is your sword so soft? Like a noodle. You, she hissed. Her chest heaved. Her jade hands formed seals. Ice spike, swift blade, ice crystal butterfly. A tidal wave of spells rained down on me. And every single one vanished the instant it got within 3 feet. Like a clay ox sinking into the sea. Not one bubble. Meanwhile, she burned through her own energy and started to sweat. She doubled over. She held her knees and gasped. That stunning face carved with disbelief and despair. Why can't I hurt him? Her foundation establishment mid-stage cultivation. A joke. Then Wang Yang, still crawling around, made a mistake. Ding asked her why she hadn't killed me yet. She knew, better than anyone, that killing a piece of trash like me should be as easy as crushing an ant, and she couldn't do it. And this idiot was asking why. That was the last straw. She turned, her icy eyes fixed on him. Roll. A furious rebuke. A surge of condensed energy swept out. Wang Yang flew a perfect parabola a second time. 720 degrees in the air. Another mouthful of blood. Ding landed hard. Ding raised his head, shaking, grievance all over his face. Why did you hit me again? Then a horrible thought hit him. Senior sister Li had gone mad. Qi deviation. That must be it. Ding scrambled up, pointed at her, and fled toward Elder Peak to fetch his grandfather to save her. I didn't care. My injuries were healed. I stretched. My bones cracked, and I walked toward the elegant courtyard on the mountainside. Ting Shui Cottage, her place. She followed after me in a daze, driven by a nameless panic. She couldn't let me out of her sight. She had to find out what this good-for-nothing had done to her. Inside, I made myself at home. Ice bamboo and a girl's boudoir, cool and sweet in the nose. I touched her hanging robe, slippery, nice. I flopped onto her bed, soft, fragrant. Senior sister's bed really is the most comfortable. She followed me in. First thing, she shut the door behind her. Then she added a restriction to it with her last scraps of energy. Whatever happened here could never reach a third person. What did you do to me? Her voice trembled with anger and fear. I ignored her. I was busy reading a system panel only I could see. Host, Li Fan. Cultivation level, Qi refining 2. Jade Beast quantity, 1. Jade Beast value, 10. And the fine print explained the whole racket. Of a Jade Beast's daily cultivation, 50% returns to the host. 30 goes into a cultivation pool I can reinvest. 20 stays with the beast. I nearly laughed. This isn't cultivation. This is being an office worker. Break your back all month. Half goes to the boss. 30 into a public account. 20 in hand at the end. A heartless capitalist got transplanted into immortal land. Perfect. My exact taste. Then I opened her detail page. Jade Beast. Li Mingzhu. Cultivation. Foundation establishment mid-stage. Aptitude. Exceptionally intelligent. Green. Favorability. -100. Hate to the core. Status. Anger, fear, humiliation. Daily output. 10 Jade Beast value. Spirit Beast form. Undefined. Fashion. Not owned. Tisk tisk. Favorability of -100. I said. Senior sister, this won't do. You need to be more open-minded. An egg-sized ball of ice flew past my ear, her last scrap of power. It slammed the wall and left a patch of frost. Did you even hear me? She finally broke down, tears in her beautiful eyes. Not tears of weakness, tears of pure torture. Don't shout, I waved. I'm busy picking out a nice skin for you. Skin? What is that? She hadn't figured it out yet. I'd already opened the shop. The goods dazzled my eyes. Contract slots, contract symbols, bronze to silver to astronomical. I swiped past. And then the fashion tab, Maid Cafe. Enchantress, cute bunny, each with a preview that made my breathing get heavier. But the cheapest one cost 100 value. I was broke. I was about to close it. And then I saw a little shimmering box in the corner. System welcome gift. Blind box. 10 Jade Beast value. Limited to 1 purchase per lifetime. Take a gamble, and your bicycle might turn into a motorcycle. I had exactly 10 value. Bought it. A roulette wheel spun. It grazed the golden contract talisman. It grazed an aptitude pill. And it stopped dead on a pink square with rabbit ears drawn in it. Congratulations, host. You've obtained the rare outfit. Bunny girl outfit ×1. Li Fan. ... What happened to the motorcycle? Please select the target audience. Is there even a need to choose? I revealed a devilish smile. Li Mingzhu. Pink light instantly swallowed the ice queen. Her moon-white dress dissolved piece by piece. In its place, a pair of fluffy black rabbit ears perched prettily in her cloud of hair. A black leather bodysuit outlining every breathtaking curve. Long legs in black stockings. And, inexplicably, a pair of red stiletto heels she absolutely did not agree to. She looked down at herself. Her brain shut down completely. Then all the blood in her body rushed to her head at once. That usually cool, stunning face turned so red it looked like it could bleed, and she let out a scream that sounded inhuman. Ah! She tried to conjure clothes to cover herself. She couldn't. She tried to escape. Her hand reached the door. Then she froze. No, she absolutely could not let anyone see her like this. Otherwise, Li Mingzhu would be truly finished. Change it back, she cried, tears welling up. You change it back for me. I got out of bed slowly. I walked up to her like a critic admiring a work of art. I circled her once. I flicked a fluffy rabbit ear. Look, isn't this much better than your white robe? Remember, you're now my spirit beast. Behave, and I won't treat you badly. She couldn't hear a thing. Change your clothes back. Hurry up. All she wanted was to crawl into a hole in the ground. I crossed my arms like a demanding client. Senior sister, you still don't understand the situation. Now, I'm in charge. Those black stockings, those rabbit ears, that little tail. System, you're such a good person. She was one heartbeat from fainting when the pounding started at the door. Bang, bang, bang. Wang Yang's hoarse duck-like shout. Grandpa, hurry! Senior sister Li did something wrong. She just hit me. And an aged, powerful voice. Yanger, stop the nonsense. How could Mingzhu easily make a mistake? Then the old man noticed the restriction on the wooden door. Niece Mingzhu, I am Wang Tianhai. May I ask you to open the door? The bunny girl in front of me went white as a sheet. You want the exact second I owned her? It was here. If Elder Wang and Wang Yang saw the outer sect's #1 genius dressed like this, she was done. Forever. She'd rather commit suicide on the spot. Wang Tianhai waited a moment. No response. His voice dropped. Yanger, step back. Something has gone wrong inside. I'll break through this restriction. Spiritual energy gathered outside the door. Don't, she blurted. She rushed to me. She dropped the pride, the dignity, all of it. She grabbed my arm, her voice trembling with tears. Please, help me change my clothes back right now. I picked my ear, innocent as a lamb. Who are you asking? I don't understand. You, she was almost crying. The energy outside grew stronger. The door began to creak. She gritted her teeth. Each word squeezed out from between them. Li Fan, please, don't do this. I remained unmoved. I just looked at her, smiling. Time stretched on forever. The power outside hit its peak. One more second, and it explodes. She broke completely. She closed her eyes. 2 lines of tears slid down, and in a voice softer than a mosquito's buzz, incredibly clear, She uttered 2 words in a trembling voice. Owner. Why didn't you do this earlier? I snapped my fingers. Bzzz. Pink light gone. The bunny outfit vanished. She was back in her familiar moon-white dress. She didn't dare delay. A concealment talisman flew from her jade hand and attached to me. My figure and breath vanished without a trace. Almost at the same moment, the door blew inward in a storm of wood chips. Wang Tianhai and Wang Yang appeared at the doorway. Senior Sister Li. Wang Yang rushed in, all anxiety. Then he froze. Li Mingzhu sat cross-legged on the bed, eyes closed, spiritual qi circulating smoothly, long black hair like a waterfall, moon-white robes spotless, pure and dignified as the moon fairy. Where was there even a trace of qi deviation? Senior Sister Li, you're all right? She opened her eyes slowly, no emotion in them. She stood. She glanced at the smashed door, brow barely furrowing. Then she bowed gracefully to Wang Tianhai. Mingzhu has met Elder Wang. Thank you for your trouble. Then the lie, watertight and perfect. Mingzhu was fortunate to obtain a spirit pill yesterday and was eager to refine it. Unexpectedly, the medicine was too strong. My energy leaked and accidentally injured junior brother Wang. It was my fault. The effects have been neutralized now, no major problem. Wang Yang understood. So that's how it is. Then he remembered. Where's Li Fan? That good-for-nothing ambushed you. Where did he go? She remained unfazed. I've already punished him and sent him away. Wang Tianhai looked her up and down. Full of energy, clear eyes, no qi deviation whatsoever. His face darkened. Ding turned and launched into his grandson. You insolent brat. Such a trivial matter. Why are you flustered? How many times have I told you to stay calm? Look at yourself, then look at Mingzhu. Wang Yang got verbally abused until he wanted to hide his head in his pants. Then the old man put on a kind smile. Ding walked to the table and sat by himself. Mingzhu, don't mind him. This kid just needs a lesson. And by the way, the inner sect already knows you contracted a second beast. Tomorrow, Elder Sun from the inner sect comes down personally to preside over your inner disciple review. Perform well, and I'll put in a good word. A glimmer of light finally appeared in Li Mingzhu's beautiful eyes. Inner gate. As long as she passed, her resources would improve dramatically. Thank you so much, Elder Wang. Ding waved it off, meaningful. And in the future, once that good-for-nothing Wang Yang establishes his foundation, I'll send him into the inner sect. When the time comes, you two help each other out. Li Mingzhu felt a wave of nausea. Help each other out with someone like Wang Yang? But she bowed her head in agreement. No matter how talented she was, even a proud daughter of heaven had to bow to entrenched power. After they left, I peeled off the wall. Senior sister, your talisman is really useful. Even the elder couldn't detect it. She snorted. What kind of elder? Ding's just a great perfection of foundation establishment. All bark. And then I heard the sweetest little chime in my head. Bite. Li Mingzhu favorability +1. Current favorability, -99. I looked at the -99, then at the little +1. Happy. Interesting. So interesting. Making harsh speeches out loud while her favorability secretly ticks up. This aloof senior sister. Deep down, she's still a proud, arrogant tsundere. Noted. Very much noted. Then I got down to business, because I'm a professional. I told her the plan. From now on, cultivate. 12 hours a day. Every hour on the great work. No stopping without my permission. Li Mingzhu stared. 12 two-hour periods? There are only 12 in a day. No time for eating, drinking, the toilet, or feeding a spirit beast. Who does he think he is? You're utterly ridiculous, she snapped. The Tao of cultivation emphasizes balance, a gradual approach. Draining the pond to catch all the fish only leads to devastation. She tried to reason with the idiot. I picked my ear, disdainful. Qi deviation? That means your method is wrong. From today, you're only responsible for cultivating. I'll handle the rest. You? She was speechless. Her full chest heaved. How? I grinned, showing white teeth. You seem quite defiant. I raised my hand and snapped my fingers. Bzzz. The familiar, unforgettable pink glow returned. Her body froze. The color drained from her face. I let it dissipate. That's right. This is the Master's good spirit beast. Come, stop standing there. Let's begin. The great cause of cultivation cannot be delayed. Do you still want to join the inner sect? She stood, fists clenched. Humiliation. Endless humiliation. Then she took a deep breath, walked to the spot I pointed at, and sat cross-legged. She closed her eyes and faced the sky. The heaven and earth spiritual qi converged on her frantically. A visible vortex formed. As expected of a genius, this cultivation is just different. I lay back on the bed. I crossed my legs, and I felt streams of pure cultivation flowing into my limbs and bones. One word, cool. 2 words, so awesome. But Li Mingzhu, mid-cultivation, frowned more and more. Something's not right. She was clearly absorbing spiritual qi, but after each cycle through her meridians, most of it vanished. Only 1 or 2 out of 10 settled in her dantian. What's going on? Then the world confirmed it for her. Bzzz. The spiritual qi in the whole cottage erupted in chaos. It bypassed her and surged toward the bed, toward the man she hated to the core, toward me. eyes closed, completely relaxed, aura rising at an alarming rate. Chi refining level 2 peak, bottleneck, break, boom. Chi refining level 3, right there, on her own bed. Absorbing the cultivation she bled for, she almost spat blood. At that moment, she finally understood. The cultivation gained through her own labor, stolen by that shameless thief. I opened my eyes, satisfied. Then I turned my head and saw her staring at me like she wanted to devour me. I frowned, displeased. Cultivation time, what are you spacing out for? Why did it stop? Continue. Continue? Her lungs were about to explode. That thief, that robber. I ignored the gaze. How? It's just giving your master some of your cultivation. Look how heartbroken you are, no sense of responsibility at all. You need to understand, you're my Jade Beast now. Your cultivation is my cultivation, so why make a distinction? She trembled all over. You. She couldn't utter a word. I crossed my legs and added, leisurely, it's only because you're my only Jade Beast that I'm speaking so reasonably. If you perform like this after I have more Jade Beasts, I won't be satisfied. When that time comes, there'll be plenty of Jade Beasts lining up to be good. Don't blame me for being biased. She shut her eyes. Tolerate. Endure. A gentleman takes his revenge even after 10 years. Once I enter the inner sect, once I'm strong enough to break this contract, I'll tear you apart. She forced herself calm. She entered cultivation again, this time filled with hatred, absorbing the chi even faster. I lay back, content. Not bad. Hatred really is the primary driving force. I open the panel. Level 3, 32%. Jade Beast cultivation pool, 3 strands of spirit source, 30% of her afternoon's work, all essence, and the value climbing. A contract slot plus a bronze symbol cost 800 value. She only makes 10 a day. 80 days. Can an 80-year-old genius contract a second beast? No. We need to cultivate Li Mingju herself, raise her realm and aptitude, and the daily output climbs. So I lit a fire under her. Senior sister, your training is lacking. Simply not good enough. Work harder for our shared future. She didn't want to talk. She only wanted to kill. Then I got bored, so I flicked the bunny outfit back onto her, mid-cultivation, and lay on my side watching, a feast for the eyes, until dusk. When I finally left, I patted her shoulder. I'll do my best for you in the inner sect assessment tomorrow. She was overjoyed. This demon is finally leaving. Then her gaze fell on herself. Black stockings, lace trim, that fluffy tail, Xiao, ran. Another inhuman scream through Tingshu Cottage. I changed her back before she could chi deviate for real. But before I left, I snapped my fingers. 5 strands of pure spirit source appeared over her head and flowed into her limbs and bones. She almost groaned. Far more than she'd earned in half a day, and more refined. She looked up, shocked. What's going on? Hands behind my back, mysterious smile. As I said, once you become my Jade Beast, I take care of your cultivation. Behave, and you'll get plenty of benefits. And I turned to leave. She stood there, stunned. And then, as I reached the doorway, she called out, as if possessed. Wait a minute. A rare blush on that cool face. She bit her lip. Her eyes darted away from mine. Could we have some more? My smile vanished. Even the landlord's family has no surplus grain. Everything today already went to you. But of course, I didn't say that. I stepped forward. I looked down at her, voice cold. Did you behave well today? I told you to be active, and you still glare at me? With an attitude like that, you want a reward? Get back to cultivating. She stood there, bombarded by the rebuke, watching my dashing, departing figure, trembling all over. Bastard. Favorability, -99. Climbing. Down at the foot of the mountain, life got a small upgrade and a small headache. The upgrade, 1-click follow. A new system feature, ignore distance and obstacles, summon Jade Beast to the host's side at any time. My personal summoned beast, perfect for when Li Mingju entered the inner circle and got funny ideas, mountains high and emperor far. Hee, I'll miss her from now on. No, I'll check her cultivation progress anytime I want. The headache had a name, Deacon Liu, nicknamed Liu the Skinflint, outer sect chores boss, foulest mouth in the department, famous for skimming the already sad monthly pay of every outer disciple. Ding caught me strolling in and started spitting insults about the manure piling up at the Spirit Beast garden. It's better to raise pigs than useless people like you. At least pigs grow meat. Old me would have bowed and scraped, trembling. New me nearly laughed. A foundation establishment early-stage deacon, just a small carambola. But I put on the humble face. Yes, Steward Liu is right to reprimand me. My stomach was upset. I squatted a while longer. Ding gave a scintillated snort. Trash is trash. Get back to work. If I catch you slacking, I'll break your legs. Yes. I nodded vigorously and walked into my drafty shack. Inside sat the one real thing I had in this world. Xu Guang, my roommate, my only friend, in a place where the strong prey on the weak. Same trash-tier talent as me, same struggle. Ostracized just for being close to me, and now his face was bruised and swollen, because Wang Yang had come looking for me and taken it out on him. Ding looked up, anxious. Li Fan, you're back. Wang Yang was just here, killing intent everywhere, looking for you. I said you weren't around, and without a word he came right up. Ding covered his swollen cheek. The rest went unsaid. Something moved in me. Not the system kind of something, the other kind. We must find a way, I thought. So I took Guang to the Spirit Beast garden to help me shovel, because I wasn't leaving him alone. We fed jade grass into the troughs. We cleaned up the excrement, fresh spiritual plant, and the stench of feces. Neither of us spoke. But there was an understanding between us. The easy kind you only get with someone who shared the bottom of the barrel. An hour later, we were done. We plopped down on the clean lawn. The night breeze blew away the heat. The sky was full of stars. Li Fan, Guang said, looking up, "Do you think we'll ever get a foundation establishment in our lifetime?" His voice full of confusion. I didn't answer. My eyes were closed. Because up on the mountain, Li Mingzhu was saying no with her mouth and grinding herself to dust in cultivation. And that pure river was still pouring into me. I could feel the third bottleneck loosening, little by little. Soon. It'll be soon. Sudden. Buzz. A barrier shattered. A surge, several times bigger than before, flooded my limbs and bones. Meridians broadened. Dantian expanded. My aura spread out fast. Guang, lying beside me, was thrown into a tumble by the wave. Ding sat up, face full of horror. "Xiao, Li Fan!" Ding pointed at me, eyes wide as saucers. This information. Qi refining level 4? Then his face froze, like he'd realized something worse. Ding rubbed his eyes, voice cracking. "Something's not right. This afternoon at the martial arts arena, weren't you still Qi refining level 2? How come you went straight to level 4 after one afternoon?" His whole face screamed one thing. Is this reasonable? It is not. I looked at his ghost-seeing expression, and my heart filled with joy. I brushed the grass off my clothes and stood slowly, hands behind my back. I gazed up at the stars at a 45-degree angle. Now that things have come to this, I won't hide it from you anymore. My voice carried a perfectly fitting touch of vicissitude. Actually, I am an unparalleled genius. For years, I wanted to be an ordinary person with you, but all I got was estrangement and ridicule. I'm not pretending anymore. I'm coming clean. Guang opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Ding stared at me, that familiar face now utterly unfamiliar to him. "You're talking nonsense." Ding thought a while, then landed on the only possibility. "You stole one of the Elder's spirit pills?" Then he shook his head. No advanced pill jumps you 2 floors. The outer sect could never have one." And Guang fell into deep self-doubt, almost obsessed. I patted his shoulder. "Let's go back and sleep. I have to attend a ceremony early tomorrow. Let's see if our great master Li can successfully enter the inner sect." And I hummed a little tune and strolled toward the shack, leaving Guang petrified under the stars, following me in a daze, still completely bewildered. Next morning, both of us with matching dark circles under our eyes, because Guang had interrogated me all night and kept me awake. We dragged ourselves to the martial arts arena for Li Mingzhu's inner sect assessment. The whole outer sect had turned out, packed, craning necks. "Senior Sister Li is here." Whoosh! Every eye turned to the mountain path. The crowd parted on its own, and a stunningly beautiful figure walked toward us. Light purple flowing dress, long black hair tied with a jade hairpin, a few strands over her smooth forehead, serene and cool as the moon. She walked without looking at anyone. And that innate pride made everyone around her feel ashamed to meet her eyes. "My goodness, Senior Sister Li looks so beautiful today. What is Fairy?" "This is Fairy. If I could marry her, I'd die right now." Guang stood in the crowd, staring, muttering, "So beautiful." I crossed my arms and pursed my lips. "What's so special?" "Wearing black stockings. That's real beauty." Then her clear, cold eyes swept the dark mass of people and landed dead on me, grinning mischievously at her. Her delicate body trembled almost imperceptibly, because last night, after Bastard left, her cultivation kept draining away. She'd spent the whole night working, all for him. That shameless bastard. She gritted her teeth and turned her head away. But Guang, standing beside me, caught the movement. His body froze. Ding grabbed my arm, shaking, voice trembling. "Xiao, Li Fan, did you see that? Senior Sister Li, she just glanced at me." "Bro, you're hopeless." Just then, a streak of light streaked across the sky. Chilling, oppressive, it descended on the stands. An elderly man in a blue robe, hair and beard white, face thin and gaunt, eyes sharp as an eagle's. A terrifying golden core immortal master aura, radiating unintentionally, dominating the whole scene. The outer sect elders shot up and fawned. "Greetings, elder son." Ding didn't lift an eyelid. Sun Changfeng, a genuine golden core. His gaze swept past everyone and landed on Li Mingzhu. "You are Li Mingzhu. The inner sect promotion assessment will now begin." A crystal ball appeared. First item, physical constitution. She placed a jade hand over it and injected power. Buzz! The ball burst into light. A beam shot up over 3 feet. "High-grade qualifications," the elders murmured. "Excellent physical attributes," Sun Changfeng said. "A promising talent." Several simple tests followed. All perfect. Gasps from the crowd. Then the last item, the most crucial, real-world application. Sun Changfeng waved his sleeves. A giant jade scorpion, body the size of a water buffalo, carved from jade, appeared in the square. Its raised stinger gleamed. "This is my spirit beast, Jade Scorpion," he said. "I've suppressed it to Foundation establishment mid-stage, similar to yours. Defeat it and you pass. You become one of my inner disciples." Li Mingzhu nodded. She summoned 2 beams of light. A crystal-clear ice crystal butterfly, chilling. and the black-furred moon shadow leopard, agile. Both position themselves at her sides, protecting her. Go. The butterfly conjured ice spikes and rained them down. The leopard turned into black lightning and circled to the scorpion's back, claws for the gaps in its carapace. She directed both beasts with a composure beyond her years. Ice crystal butterfly for control, moon shadow leopard for the deadly strikes. Flashes of light and bursts of energy. Sun Changfeng stroked his beard, admiration deepening. This girl is really good. Firm advantage. The scorpion couldn't touch the hem of her clothes. Interesting. Ding wanted to see her limit, so he cheated. The fingers on his armrest moved slightly. Buzz. The scorpion's shell darkened. It grew. Late Foundation establishment. The crowd gasped. This is against the rules. What happened to equal cultivation? Ding clearly didn't want her to pass easily. Li Mingju's face changed. She felt the oppressive power. Her heart sank. Not good. The scorpion's tail slammed the butterfly's wing. Pale, she retrieved it into her spirit beast space. One moon shadow leopard left. No match for a late Foundation establishment beast. One exchange, and it was swept away by the massive pincers, seriously injured, barely standing. Then she summoned a flying sword and charged herself. But the scorpion was a golden core cultivator's beast. Its body was tempered strong. She couldn't hurt it. Every casual counterattack put her in grave danger. She dodged awkwardly. The situation turned sharply worse. The crowd's hearts were in their throats. How do we fight this? Elder Sun is really going too far. Wang Tianhai and the other elders looked at each other, not daring to make a sound. Who dares question a golden core immortal master? And me, in the crowd, frowning. This Elder Sun is a bit off. I opened the panel. Jade Beast Cultivation Pool, 7 strands of spirit source. Li Mingju's hard work last night. I'd planned to save it as a future reward, but now, I glanced at my stunning Jade Beast, in peril in the arena. My Jade Beast, how dare you bully me like this? Sun Changfeng, up in the stands, was actually overjoyed. Calm under pressure, resilient, a promising talent. Ding fully accepted her. That was enough. If they kept fighting, someone might get hurt. Ding was about to end the assessment. Just then, a sudden change. Li Mingju was being forced back. Her body trembled. A surge of powerful energy flooded her dantian without warning, like rain after a long drought. This power, she was stunned. She felt her own bottleneck being violently impacted. That barrier, shattering inch by inch, visible to the naked eye. What happened? She looked up on instinct. Her gaze pierced the crowd and landed dead on me, leaning against the stands, lazy. I grinned when I saw her look over. Her mind went white. It's him. Everyone noticed. Look, senior sister Li is surrounded by spiritual qi, a vortex. This is a breakthrough. Breakthrough in battle? Am I dreaming? Sun Changfeng's eyes nearly bulged out. Ding stood. Her aura rose at an unbelievable speed. Foundation establishment mid-stage peak. Bottleneck. Break. Late Foundation establishment energy erupted and swept the scene. Sun Changfeng's heart pounded. A breakthrough at the last minute. No stagnation. Not a trace of obscurity. From surge to completion in a few breaths. Smooth. Natural. As simple as eating and drinking. What an astonishingly brilliant talent. In the whole beast-taming sect, perhaps only the once-in-a-millennium saintess could rival it. I've struck gold. This time, we've truly struck gold. The battle reversed instantly. Go! Her flying sword shone, several times faster. It punched through the scorpion's massive pincer. The scorpion went berserk. Its tail swept across. She didn't dodge. She grasped at the air. Moon Shadow Leopard flashed out, nourished by her breakthrough, and slammed a claw down on the tail's joint. Snap! The tail, strong enough to pierce metal, bent downward. Sun Changfeng couldn't sit still. Stop! Ding recalled his beloved beast, half dead. His heart ached so much he trembled. Then he announced it. Li Mingju possesses excellent physical constitution, a resilient heart, and unparalleled talent. The assessment passed. From this day, you are promoted to inner sect disciple. A jade pendant flew into her hand. Report to Yingyun Hall in 3 days. The arena erupted. We won. Senior sister Li won. A breakthrough on the battlefield, turning defeat into victory. She gripped the pendant, unable to contain her joy, a smile that could captivate all. Countless male disciples stared, spellbound. And she glanced once at the trash in the crowd. Bite. Li Mingju favorability, +10. Current favorability, -89. I was stunned for a moment. Then I pursed my lips. This little girl is so calculating. As expected of Li Fan's Jade Beast. So realistic. You'd think that was the win. Nope. Wang Yang wanted a rematch. As Su Guang and I tried to slip off, Wang Yang blocked our path. A dozen lackeys behind him, his face still purple from Li Mingju's slap. You beast. I finally caught you. What did you do to senior sister Li? Today, I'll cripple you. Su Guang grabbed my arm. Run, Li Fan, run. I didn't run. I straightened my collar instead, because my Jade Beast wasn't far, and if this idiot had the guts, he was welcome to try touching me. So I walked right up to Wang Yang, close enough to smell his breath. The dispersed crowd swarmed back for the show. It's over, Su Guang nearly cried. I'm definitely going to die this time. Wang Yang looked me over and sneered. Useless trash. You've grown some guts in a day? I looked at him, blank face, and I uttered 6 words. Wang Yang, I'll fuck your mother. The wind stopped. The whole square stopped. Everyone stared, sure their ears were broken. Su Guang's soul left his body. Big brother, I know you broke 2 realms in an afternoon, but did you have to be this arrogant? That's Wang Yang, Long Tianhai's grandson. What did you say? Wang Yang squeezed out. I repeated, low, clear across the whole venue. Fuck your mother. Did you hear me? Ding went supernova. Boom. Shi refining great perfection erupted. His fist whistled at my face. Attack him together. Kill him. A dozen lackeys unleashed their weapons. Killing intent surged. Su Guang shut his eyes in despair. I stood still. I even pulled the terrified Su Guang behind me, because at the same moment, up in the stands, Li Mingzhu was charming Elder Sun, answering every question flawlessly, and her body locked up. Owner detected in mortal danger. Automatic protection mode activated. Li Fan? This bastard. You've caused me trouble again. She fought it. She had no intention of saving me, but her will was paper against that force. And in front of Elder Sun and every gawking elder, she vanished in a burst of white light. Sun Changfeng? Question mark. Wang Tianhai? Question mark. Every elder? Question mark. Where did a whole living genius go? Wang Yang's fist was an inch from my cheek, and a purple figure blinked into existence in front of me, robes fluttering, a goddess descending. Li Mingzhu, a soft, boneless jade hand that looked like it couldn't kill a fly. It moved faster than the eye could follow, late, but arriving early. A faint afterimage in the empty space. Smack. Wang Yang never saw it. An irresistible force off his left cheek, a mouthful of flying teeth, a 720 spin, and he crashed into the crowd 10 meters back. The dozen lackeys got worse. A series of muffled thuds, bodies flying. Blood and broken tendons, fainted on the spot. Over in a blink, the whole arena froze, everyone petrified. Why did Senior Sister Li appear? Why save the trash? Why beat Wang Yang and a dozen people so badly? That's Wang Yang, grandson of an outer elder. Li Mingzhu stood in front of me, brows furrowed. She looked at her own hands, then at Wang Yang's unknown fate in the distance. 2 words remained in her mind, broken. Just then, whoosh, a streak of light pierced the sky. Sun Changfeng landed on the ruins. His golden core pressure spread like a tide. Ding didn't glance at the dozen unfortunate souls on the ground. His gaze was fervent, locked on Li Mingzhu. You, his voice trembled. Was that a spatial technique? Her heart skipped. Spatial magic? What the hell is that? All she knew was guardian mode, and then she was inexplicably here. But could she say that? No. Once said, her secret would expose. That the outer sect's top genius had become someone's pet, the biggest joke in the whole Eastern Wasteland domain. So her brain worked at lightning speed, a perfectly measured hint of humility on that cool face. Disciple. It's hard to say. I've only gained a slight understanding of the first aspect of space. Occasionally, I can unleash some divine ability. Vague, ambiguous. To Sun Changfeng, it sounded completely different. Space and time, the 2 most difficult concepts in 3,000 great Taos. Legendary realms accessible only to the most powerful. And this little girl, at late Foundation establishment, already grasped space? This can't be called genius. This is prodigy, a once-in-a-millennium prodigy. His breathing went rapid. A brilliant new star rising before his eyes. And I am the discoverer. Ding looked at her like a rare treasure. From behind the crowd, I took it all in, expressionless, inwardly bursting. Play, keep acting, skip the Oscar, straight to the immortal awards. Spatial magic, how did you even think of that? But this misunderstanding seems pretty good. Then Wang Tianhai arrived, saw his grandson lying there like a mud pile, mouth full of blood, teeth gone. His old face went black. Younger. Ding checked the injuries. 7 or 8 bones broken, meridians shaken, months in bed. Ding whirled on Li Mingzhu. Why did you attack without provocation and severely injure your fellow disciple? If it were the past, she'd have panicked. Not now. She glanced at him, calm as still water. She was an inner disciple now. This all-bark old man couldn't control her anymore. And better to sever ties today than face trouble later. Elder Wang, be careful with your words. Wang Yang gathered a dozen people to gang up on disciple Li Fan. All present can testify. As the great master, what's wrong with me punishing him? You keep talking about sect rules. Disciples cannot fight each other. Has Elder Wang forgotten? Reasonable, well-founded, neither arrogant nor humble. It left him speechless. His face flushed red, then pale. This girl, usually gentle before him, talking back in public, turning her back on him? Is Mingzhu wrong? Sun Changfeng walked over slowly, hands behind his back, not even glancing at Wang Tianhai. Fighting among disciples is a major taboo. Elder Wang, your outer sect's reputation isn't very good. Discipline lacks. Cliques, bullying the weak. Perhaps I should send a few from the inner law enforcement hall down for an overhaul. Wang Tianhai's body stiffened. Inner law enforcement hall. Ruthless. No mercy even to family. Ding bent instantly. Elder Sun, please calm down. It's Junior's fault. We didn't discipline them properly. Sun Changfeng snorted and ignored him. Ding turned back to Li Mingzhu, warm again. Mingzhu, don't be distracted by trivial matters. Pack up and come up the mountain soon. Yes, Elder. And he flew off toward the summit. Li Mingzhu glanced at me secretly, then left in a hurry. Only stunned outer disciples remained, and Shu Guang, completely dumbfounded. Wang Tianhai, face gloomy, carried his ruined grandson away in a sorry state. The farce ended, but the shock it caused was far from over. Walking home, everyone who saw us looked like they'd seen a ghost. Awe, fear, curiosity, jealousy, the old contempt gone. I hummed a tune, carefree. Shu Guang, though, felt extremely uncomfortable. Back in the shack, door shut, he grabbed my shoulders and shook me. Li Fan, tell me the truth. What happened? Why is Senior Sister Li? I was dizzy from the shaking. Stop shaking. Okay, I'll tell you another secret. Actually, Senior Sister Li has a crush on me. Ding looked at me, a smile that was more of a grimace. Li Fan, can we stop messing around? I have a heart condition, really. Li Mingzhu's promotion should have been a clean break. It wasn't. I made sure of it. Turns out an inner disciple's spirit beast form is customizable, and a beast can be summoned to fight. Tailor-made for a guy in my position. Li Mingzhu might enter the inner sect and get funny ideas, mountains high and emperor far. So I needed to establish some rules, and let her pick a favorite beast form. I, Li Fan, am just that democratic. So I summoned her, one click, straight into my drafty shack, in front of a heartbroken Shu Guang. Shu Guang, please step out. I have some private matters to discuss with Senior Sister Li. Private matters? His brain shut down. Ding stood mechanically, turned, walked out on the same hand and same foot, and closed the door. Ding stood in the courtyard, a gentle breeze blowing, feeling nothing. Senior Sister Li has really come to our dilapidated house. Click. Something broke in Shu Guang's heart that day, and it wasn't a bone. Inside, I dropped a soundproof restriction and let Li Mingzhu detonate. She'd spent the night draining herself, gotten dragged here, and she was livid. What are you trying to do now? Do you know how much trouble you caused me? I crossed my legs. Did I cause you trouble? If it weren't for me, could you have broken through at the last minute? Passed the assessment? Won elder son's favor as a once-in-a-millennium genius? Each word made her tremble. So on the last one, I flicked the bunny outfit onto her. Black leather, long legs and black stockings, those incongruous red heels. You? She crossed her arms to cover herself. But there's very little fabric on that thing. Then I got to business. I'll give you a month. Find a way to get me into the inner circle. What? She stared. Are you kidding? A Qi refinement stage disciple into the inner circle? Do you know how high the threshold is? I don't have that ability. I waved. Did I say now? For the next month, don't worry about anything. Just cultivate. Let's strive to break through to Golden Core. Her heart nearly broke. Golden Core? In a month? Do you think Golden Core is cabbage? Is this person crazy? You just focus on cultivating, I said. I'll figure out the rest. Stop questioning me. Then I made her pick a beast form. I threw the transformation panel into her mind. Thousands of creatures, spiders, centipedes, scorpions, toads. Her face went white. She thought of the jade scorpion she'd half killed. Would she fight as some ghostly worm? I don't want to become one of those things, she blurted, shrill. I shrugged. Sure, then I'll fight with other people while summoning you in your current form. When people ask what this spirit beast is, I'll say, that's my bunny girl beast. Just don't feel ashamed. Her teeth nearly ground to dust. Both options were hell. Then I helpfully suggested an 8-legged spider, or a big green grasshopper, so environmentally friendly. In Li Mingzhu's beautiful eyes, it was almost spitting fire. Roll. At midday, Shu Guang sat in the courtyard, chin on his hand, staring at the closed door. It had been an hour. A lone man and a lone woman, alone in a room. Ding was anxious as an ant on a hot pan, but he dared not knock. And he thought about it. Senior Sister Li dating Li Fan? It seems quite good. Better than that arrogant Wang Yang. But long distance, with Li Fan's talent, he'll never enter the intersect in his lifetime. What does she really want with him? His mind was chaos. Ding slapped himself. Who is Senior Sister Li? The fairy above 9 heavens. Impossible between those two. Then the door opened. Squeak. Shu Guang jolted up. I walked out looking refreshed. In my arms, a small, snow-white fox, 2 feet long, fur without a blemish, a faint halo under the sun, sapphire eyes, lively and cunning, cold and arrogant. Shu Guang stared. Where is Senior Sister Li? There was no one in the house. They left a long time ago, I yawned. When did they leave? I didn't see. Ding stood in the courtyard the whole time. I looked at him like an idiot. What's your cultivation? What's theirs? If someone wants to leave, will you even see it? Ding scratched his head. That seems true. Then he leaned in, gossip on his face, lowering his voice. So you and Senior Sister Li, really? Of course, I said. Ding took 2 steps back, clutching his chest, an expression of unbearable pain, and another piece of Shu Guang quietly died. Ding looked at the fox. What's this? My spirit beast, I said casually. When did you get a spirit beast? Aren't you an insulator against them? Ding reached out to pet it. Halfway there, the fox stopped struggling. Its blue eyes turned cold. Bang! Shu Guang flew back several meters and landed on his buttocks. It has a terrible temper, I said. Don't touch her. And the fox broke free, turned into a bolt of white lightning, and vanished up the mountain path. 10 days passed. And in those 10 days, Shu Guang and I farmed the Outer Sect's mission hall. We took only the high-risk demon-slaying jobs, the ones with fat contribution rewards. And every single time, it was Li Mingju's mysterious white fox who did the work while we stood back. I climbed to Qi Refining level 6, and every time, I handed all the medicine pills to Shu Guang. Why do you always give me the pills? He asked, uneasy. Don't you want them? I patted my chest. I am a genius, understand? This low-grade stuff is of no use to me, but Su Guang felt increasingly uneasy. Each mission, the fox did the killing, and I kept the reward for him. And he thought about it. Li Fan is usually so good to me, ever since senior sister Li entered the inner circle, and it never came down. Could he be lonely? So to myself. His face went pale. His gaze turned incredibly complex. Fear, resistance, and a hint of unclear, ambiguous shyness. Walking ahead of him, I felt a chill run down my spine. I turned. I met his complicated gaze. Shu Guang, if you look at me like that again, don't blame me for hitting you. Meanwhile, up on the mountain, I was napping in Li Mingju's bed, drooling into her blanket, purely for the comfort. Sleeping in Li Mingju's bed. Is this a blessing ordinary people can enjoy? I was playing Go in a dream when the system chimed. Bite. Jade Beast. Li Mingju requests to follow her master. Do you agree? Did the sun rise in the west? This little girl avoids me like the plague. She wishes we'd never meet. And she volunteered? Something unusual is going on. I rolled over and muttered. Agree. Buzz. Li Mingju's graceful purple figure appeared in the bedroom. First thing she saw, me lying on her bed, sleepy-eyed and yawning. Anger shot to her head, a hint of moisture in her eyes. She bit her lip. She sat down, brooding. What are you doing? Missing me? It only fueled her fury. Pah, all you do is sleep. I've been slaving in the inner sect, cultivating day and night, and you sleep like a pig in my bed. She felt so wronged she almost cried. A proud daughter of heaven, now a cultivation tool, working herself to the bone, while her so-called master enjoyed life. Where's the justice? I got up. Who bullied you? Tell your master. She turned her head, stubborn. None of your business. Then, after much prodding, the truth came out. Do you remember Elder Son? She asked. Ever since that day, he's been spreading the news everywhere. That I'm a once-in-a-millennium genius. That I mastered the legendary spatial technique. There was no joy in her words, only frustration. Among the inner disciples, everyone sees me as a thorn now. And what's worse, some busybodies compared me to the Saintess. Saintess? I got interested. Our Saintess of the beast-taming sect is named Wu Li Xia, she said, the true peerless genius. 25 and already a middle golden core. And today she came to my immortal cave. She spoke with barbs, as if I'm deliberately using her fame. She even forced me to use the spatial technique in front of her. Li Mingju's voice trembled. She doesn't know any spatial magic. The humiliation nearly broke her. I realized it, so that's why she applied to follow me, to show off the spatial technique in front of the Saintess. Ding was appreciated by an elder, envied by peers, humiliated when a stronger genius came knocking. The standard protagonist template for Xuanhuan novels, except the protagonist here is my Jade Beast. I pondered a long time. Then my expression turned serious. She straightened up. Is he really going to stand up for me? A strange anticipation welled up in her. I cleared my throat, and I asked a truly shocking question. This Saintess you mentioned, Wu Li Xia, is she pretty? Empty silence. Her pretty face flushed red with grievance, then went completely black. She looked at the grinning bastard in front of her and wanted to bite me to death. Ding suffered a huge injustice, and he doesn't care about himself. Ding cares about other women. Nice, she gritted out. Pretty. She's so many times prettier than me. Okay. Then she turned her head away. The tears could no longer be held back. I smiled. This little girl has an unusually strong competitive spirit, but this was a real problem. People kept troubling her, and every attack slowed her cultivation, which hurt my income. This won't do. It seriously damages my interests as the owner. I opened the panel. Jade Beast value, 210. Cultivation pool, 97 strands. Even instilling it now would only nudge her a bit. Golden core was still far. What to do? So I decided to educate her. Cruelly. She asked what green meant on her aptitude, so I explained the ranks. From lowest to highest, ordinary talent, white, extraordinary intelligence, green, genius, blue, immortal's attire, purple, divine spirit body, gold, and the legendary great Tao body, colorful. A green aptitude like yours, I said, can barely be considered a minor genius, one level above the bottom. Her face paled, then went deathly white. Green? Could he be a minor genius? All along, she'd thought herself a chosen one, a rare gem, and reality slapped her flat. She hadn't even touched the threshold of a true genius. That Saintess, Wu Li Xia, what color is she? Blue? Purple? Gold? A tremendous powerlessness engulfed her. Her pride and confidence shattered to pieces. Turns out I was just a frog in a well. I glanced at the panel. Status, mental breakdown, unstable heart. My heart skipped. Good heavens, too far. Don't actually plant a heart demon. A broken Jade Beast is a worthless Jade Beast. Where would I find another this perfect? Hey, don't do that. It's just green. Green is environmentally friendly. There are billions of mortals without a spiritual root. You've surpassed 90% of people. No effect. Her eyes lost all luster, so I resorted to drastic measures. $200. Isn't it just talent? Master has a solution. I opened the shop and projected it into her mind. Her empty eyes landed on a blue glowing pill. Talent pill. Blue. Upgrades a Jade Beast's talent from green to blue. Price. 1,000 Jade Beast value. Talent can be improved. It was like finding a lifeline. She stared at me like a drowning person seeing wood. Then she saw my balance of 200 and my daily output of a pitiful 20. 1,000. 50 days. Despair again. So I found her the little gambling box. Talent gift box. 10 value. A tiny chance at the real pill. And dear reader, I created a monster. Her eyes lit up. Once at 10. What if she was lucky? Alarm bells rang in my head. I pulled the shop from her mind. All right, as long as you have hope, that's enough. Go back to cultivating. But this time, she refused to leave. She walked up to me, tearful, pleading eyes. That box, buy it for me. I put on the earnest elder's face. Senior sister, how could you have such a thought? This is gambling, the root of all evil, a bottomless pit. 99.9% of this stuff is garbage. Was it easy to save this little bit? But she wouldn't listen. This is money I earned through hard work. Fine, I sighed. One box, only one. No matter what you get, you go back to cultivating and cause no trouble. Good, she agreed without hesitation. My flesh ached. Ding! 10 value used. The box clicked open. Congratulations, host. You've received 1 flower. Giving Jade Beast increases favorability by 1. A vibrant red rose in my hand. I tucked it into her arms. Give. Satisfied? I told you, this is a scam, a pure tax on intelligence. She looked at the rose, then at her still green talent. What if the next one is it? Buy me another one. No, you promised one. She hesitated. Then, as if possessed, she tugged my sleeve. Let's buy one more. Soft, pleading. Where was the aloof, icy senior sister? She looked like a little girl flirting with her lover. Goosebumps everywhere. But reason said no. Being cute won't work. Put on the bunny outfit and show me. Her smile froze. She struggled a long time. Finally, she squeezed out a word. Okay. Lee fan. Question mark. She'd gone to such extremes? The bunny outfit flashed on. A feast for the eyes. I painfully spent 10 value. Another flower. Buy me another. Impossible. Unless you give me a back massage. She rushed over and pounded my back. Bought it. Flower. Again. A leg massage. She squatted and pinched my leg. Flower. Again. You call me master. Out loud. Half a minute of silence. Then a sound softer than a mosquito. Owner. Bought it. Flower. Flower. A flower. Flower. Half an hour later, I lay sprawled and drained. Li Mingzhu sat on the bed edge holding 10 bright red roses. Eyes red. Like a wronged little rabbit. No. Absolutely not. I'll pick you a basket outside. I'm not opening this box again. Then a heat on my cheek. A soft, warm touch. She'd kissed me. She actually kissed me. You really will stop at nothing, I pointed at her, speechless. She kept her head down, face dripping red. The last one. The very last one. Fine, I sighed. Absolutely the last. Ding. 10 value used. This time, no white light. Buzz. A dazzling golden light shot to the sky. It almost ripped the roof off. Congratulations, host. You've been incredibly lucky. You've obtained 1 blue talent pill. She screamed. She pounced. She grabbed my neck. It's out. The talent pill. That cold face, smiling like a flower, eyes curved. I was almost suffocated. This little girl. Is this the legendary European luck physique? Use. The blue pill dissolved into her brow. Congratulations, host. Jade Beast Li Mingzhu's talent upgraded to Prodigy. Blue. Her body trembled. Something snapped free. Everything became incredibly clear. She sat cross-legged and cultivated on reflex. Boom. The courtyard filled with the aroma of spiritual chi. A visible vortex surged into her. Is this blue talent? If before it was a gently flowing stream, now it was a vast, magnificent lake. Heaven-defying speed. I watched the panel. Daily output, 40 Jade Beast value. Doubled. Now I'm rich. Then she remembered the bunny outfit and demanded I change it, hiding her face, and I teased her about calling me master so sweetly, and then discarding the tool after using it. She retorted, then couldn't finish, and just glared, and her favorability climbed. Then I set the hook for the future. She started eyeing the gift box again, wanting to gamble for a purple pill. I shut it down. One should not be too greedy. You're already blue. That's amazing. But then I changed the subject. Don't you want a companion when you're having a hard time? Companion? She was taken aback. Yes, I slapped my thigh. Let's accumulate value and buy the second contract slot. Then I'll find you a girlfriend to keep you company. She frowned, resistant. I gave her no room to think. I think Saintess Wu Li Sha is quite good. Doesn't she bully you? Look down on you? I leaned close to her ear. Devilish temptation. When the time comes, I'll contract her too. Make her your follower, serving you tea and water. And we'll use her cultivation value to buy you a purple pill, a gold pill. Tell me, is she living well or not? It exploded in her heart. It can be like this? The lofty Saintess Wu Li Sha working like a slave for him? Using what she earns to improve herself? An insane idea. But an indescribable pleasure surged up from the depths. That woman bossed me around today. If it really could be as Li Fan says. Her heart pounded. What you said is all true. Is it even possible that it's fake? I patted my chest. My word is my bond. She was smitten. But then a crucial question. What if you make a contract with her and she's prettier and better and you give her what I earn instead? Wouldn't I lose big? I scratched my head. This little girl is clever. Not entirely impossible, I said. That depends on who performs better and pleases me more. Look at your attitude, always going against me. Wearing a bunny outfit and still making excuses. I bet Wu Li Sha isn't as stupid as you. She trembled, torn. The thought of watching her value spent on Wu Li Sha was unbearable. I disagree. She slammed the table. Just then, noise from outside the courtyard. Wang Tianhai, leading several outer sect elders, and behind them, a young man with shifty rat eyes and an attractive woman. Both foundation establishment early stage, fawning. Wang Tianhai pointed at Tingshui Cottage.
Tong Long, Liu Yan, you two are happily married, rare talents. It's unfair you're still in old houses. This was Li Mingzhu's place. Rich spiritual qi, perfect for you. Tong Long practically drooled. The goddess's fragrance might still linger. The place where Li Mingzhu lived. Ding trembled with excitement. Then I pushed the door open, frowning, unhappy. What are you doing? It's so noisy in the middle of the day. Can't a person get any sleep? They were all taken aback. Tong Long's face turned unpleasant. How did this trash end up here? This Tingshu cottage has been assigned to me and junior sister Liu Yan. Why are you here? Wang Tianhai stepped forward, old face gloomy. Ding come to catch me red-handed. A disciple had reported that I'd secretly moved into Li Mingzhu's cottage, and he hadn't believed it, and here was the proof. Little beast, he pointed at my nose. Who let you stay here? Great perfection of foundation establishment aura pressed down on me. But what was there to be afraid of? Li Mingzhu was inside. Elder Wang, you're so old. How do you still have such a big temper? I said confidently. This is senior sister Li's place. She personally told me to stay. Do you have a problem?
The elders exchanged glances, doubt in their minds. Is Li Fan really related to Li Mingzhu? Wang Tianhai burst into laughter. Li Fan, take a piss and look at yourself. Why would Li Mingzhu let you live here? Ridiculous. Ding didn't believe it 1,000 times. Get out within 3 breaths, then go to the cliff of repentance and face the wall for a month. Otherwise, I'll cripple you right now. Spiritual energy surged in his palm. A kind-looking fat elder stopped him. They wouldn't gamble. If the rumors were true and they crippled me and Li Mingzhu got angry, things would get complicated. Consider the owner before you beat the dog. Ding walked up, smiling. Li Fan, isn't it a waste to live in such a big yard alone? Tong Long and Liu Yan are Dao companions about to marry. Why not give them the courtyard? On what grounds? Damn it. Foundation establishment again. Dao companion again. How come they get all the good things? My eyes darted. A wicked idea. So what if you have a Dao companion? Who doesn't have that? The courtyard fell silent. Then, pfft, everyone burst into laughter. Tong Long almost cried laughing. Brother Xiao, are you out of your mind? Everyone in the sect knows he's the #1 good-for-nothing. Which female disciple would lower herself to become his Dao companion? The fat elder sighed, wanting to give me a way out. Then today, bring out your Dao companion. If you have one, I decide right now. Tingshu Cottage is yours. It's no use no matter who comes. Inside, Li Mingzhu heard it all. She trembled, red-faced, shameless, vulgar. Once he steps out, the identity of Dao companion is solidified. How will I face people? A laughingstock across the whole eastern wasteland domain. But she thought of Wu Lisha, the tempting talent pill. Her heart wavered. To gain more, I need to demonstrate value. I must please my master. And if I don't go, he'll contract Wu Lisha with the value I earned. Wouldn't I lose big? She gritted her teeth. So what if I lose a little face? Compared to spiritual practice, compared to trampling Wu Lisha underfoot, not worth mentioning. She took a deep breath. Her gaze fell on the bouquet of red roses on the dresser. She walked over as if possessed. She held them in her arms, and she walked to the door. Wang Tianhai raised his hand to slap me. Tong Long and Liu Yan wore gloating smiles. Just then, squeak, the door opened. A graceful purple figure emerged. Unparalleled beauty, pure and cool as a lotus on a snow-capped mountain. Li Mingzhu, holding a bouquet of bright red roses. The entire venue went deathly silent. Everyone stared wide-eyed. Tong Long's mouth opened wide enough to fit an egg. She floated to my side. Her eyes swept coldly over Wang Tianhai and the elders. Gentlemen, gather here. What advice do you have for me? Wang Tianhai's hand froze in midair. I pushed my luck. I embraced her slender waist. Soft, elastic. She trembled violently. Her plan was to appear, get rid of them, and leave. She never expected me to grope her in front of everyone, but she thought of the pie in the sky, and she didn't resist. She just turned her head slightly to the side. No less than divine thunder struck the crowd. Tong Long was dumbfounded. Wang Tianhai trembled with rage. His grandson still bedridden from her beating, and she ignored it. And now a secret rendezvous with the #1 trash. Elders, I've shown you the person, I said, tightening my grip. What else do you want? Take my house back? You don't want senior sister Li to have nowhere to stay when she comes to find me. The fat elder came to his senses first. His face lit up like a chrysanthemum, a complete 180. Li Fan, you've been hiding your true colors. Why didn't you tell us old folks sooner? A perfect match. Congratulations. and they showered me with praise and fled as if avoiding a plague, before Li Mingju could get unhappy and complain to the inner sect. Tong Long and Liu Yan slunk away, distraught. Only Wang Tianhai remained, hostile, chest heaving. Mingju, you really are with this kid. She turned her head away, expressionless. She parted her red lips and uttered a single word. It slammed into his heart like an iron hammer. A sweet taste rose in his throat. Okay, you're very good. And he flicked his sleeves and stormed off. I pinched the soft flesh at her waist. Excellent, excellent performance. She reacted like a cat whose tail was stepped on and broke free. She knew, from today, the rumors would spread across the whole sect at terrifying speed. She glared at me. Then she turned to go. But she stopped. Are there any high-level missions in the Hall of Merit recently? None. I shook my head. Su Guang and I took them all. She frowned. To enter the inner sect exceptionally, you must do something to shock them. Then a bold plan formed in her mind. Tomorrow, go to the spirit nurturing platform. Test the spirit beast grade. My eyes lit up. You mean put you up there? Her cheeks flushed. The sect's #1 waste suddenly bonded to a heaven-defying beast? News would spread like wildfire, and it's only a matter of time before the inner sect is shaken. Senior sister, I grabbed her hand. You really are a genius. She didn't know she just lit the fuse on something none of us could control. Dawn. I dragged a barely conscious Su Guang along. The spirit nurturing platform sat in the dead center of the outer sect, a slab of black basalt, hundreds of years old. Its sole function, testing the grade of a new disciple's spirit beast, where dreams take flight and where countless people learn the harsh reality. The whole outer sect looked at me differently now. Not just contempt, hatred, like I'd stolen a treasure they'd guarded for years. A shifty-eyed disciple blocked our path. Isn't this senior brother Shao? Where are you going so early? Spirit nurturing platform, I said. Test for spirit beast. Silence, then a chuckle. This piece of trash actually succeeded in contracting a beast? The news grew wings. It spread like wildfire, and it pulled the whole outer sect to the platform, packed 4 deep. Li Fan has a beast? The sun rises in the west. If he can contract a beast, I'll eat this rock. Su Guang got nervous. How about we come back another day? So many people. I remained calm. I even enjoyed being the center of attention. Under the eyes of thousands, I extended my hand. A small, snow-white fox appeared, yawning, tail swaying, painfully cute. The girls in the crowd melted. So cute. What beast is this? The expert sneered. Just a vase. The more ornamental, the weaker. At most tier 1, can't beat a spirit-seeking rat. In my arms, Li Mingju nearly transformed on the spot to murder them. How dare they compare her to a spirit-seeking rat? I stroked her fluffy head and whispered, Senior sister, do your best, don't embarrass me. 2 small flames ignited in her azure eyes, and I set her on the cold black platform. Buzz. The whole platform trembled. Ancient runes, dormant for years, lit up. A white beam shot to the sky. White. First order. Someone in front called it, told you so tone. But before he finished, the beam changed. Green. A brilliant green replaced the white. Tier 2. My God, how can such a beautiful beast be Tier 2? Uproar. But that was just the start. The green lasted less than a breath. Another surge. Blue as the deep sea. Third order. A deacon's voice began to tremble, eyes wide as copper bells. Third order is standard for inner disciples. Impossible. And still the pillar of light climbed. Purple, noble and mysterious, burst forth. Fourth order. Some rolled their eyes and fainted. Then a dazzling golden light, like a blazing sun, rose. Gold. 5th rank. The elder in charge pointed with a trembling finger and couldn't form a word. In the sect's 1,000 years, only one 5th-tier beast had ever appeared. And that still wasn't the end. The platform began to hum. The runes flashed like they'd gone mad. Then, click. A very faint, incredibly clear cracking sound, echoing across the silent square. On the seemingly indestructible platform, a fine crack. Then, click, click, click. A spiderweb of cracks centered on one small white fox. In an instant, it spread across the whole platform. Whoosh! This monument to centuries of outer sect glory, carved from a single block of basalt under the eyes of thousands, broke. It shattered into a pile of stones. And the little white fox stood unharmed in the ruins, tilted her fluffy head, big watery eyes on me, face full of smugness. I'd overdone it, so badly. Because that golden pillar of light stained half the sky gold, and up at the summit of Qingyun Mountain, in the inner gate's central council hall, it was seen. The inner gate was another world. Floating palaces, jade bridges, spiritual mist thick enough to cut, disciples riding flying swords through the peaks, immortal Qi faction. And in the central hall sat 3 women who made the world dim. Above them all, silver hair, pale golden eyes, absolute majesty. Sect Master Jiang Meiling, great perfection of golden core. To her right, dark robes, a touch of red at the brow, arrogant as if the world owed her money. The saintess, Wu Li Sha. And a distinguished veiled guest, captivating purple eyes, natural charm. The Valley Master of Dongxia Valley, the Eastern Wasteland's only alchemy Grand Master, Su Qing. Mid-negotiation over spirit ore, when a golden pillar of light burst up from the outer sect. Even Jiang Meiling's ancient iceberg face cracked. She stood. Golden light means a fifth-tier beast is born. The elders shot up in horror. Impossible in the outer sect. She turned into a streak of light and flew. Wu Lixia, Su Qing, and a pack of golden core elders followed. Terrifying auras streaking the sky. Down in the ruins, I'd had my fun. The elder in charge stood ashen, unable to grade a beast that had broken the grading tool. What's above fifth? Nobody knows. It's not in the classics. Then the sky fell. The three women landed on the rubble. Beauty, grace, abyss, deep pressure. The whole square dropped to its knees under the weight. Faces white, unable to lift their heads. Wang Tianhai among them. And Jiang Meiling's pale golden eyes went straight past every disciple and elder and landed on the fox in my arms. In my arms, the fox that was really Li Mingzhu turned to stone. It's over. We overdid it. She'd only wanted a small stir, an excuse to get me promoted. Instead, I'd broken the platform and summoned every legendary dragon in the sect. Raise your head, Jiang Meiling said. I did.
And even after 2 lives with a heart like a rock, I forgot to breathe. Silver hair like moonlight, skin like snow, eyes like divinity looking down on all creation. A dimensional reduction attack on the eyeballs. And of course, being me, my first thought was, if I contracted her, how much cultivation would she feed me a day? What outfit would suit her? Then I stomped the thought flat before it got me killed. She asked my name, my beast's origin, whether I'd contracted it, where it came from. 3 questions, each a nail. I put on my best terrified idiot act, found it wounded in the back mountain while gathering herbs, fed it pills, tried a contract on a whim, never expected it to work. An Oscar winner possessed me. Wu Lixia watched with a cold sneer. A beast strong enough to shake the platform would never bow to chi refining trash. Something's fishy. But the sect master was present, so she held her tongue. Meanwhile, Su Qing's veiled purple eyes crawled all over me with undisguised interest. Then Wang Tianhai, that idiot, saw his chance to bury me. Sect master, this boy is spouting nonsense. Ding pointed at my nose. 3 years of training, and he can't even contract a spirit-seeking rat. Recently, his cultivation inexplicably rose, and now this beast. There must be a trap, a demonic path monster. Execute this scoundrel as a warning. The crowd, insane with jealousy, agreed instantly. Cripple him. Expel him. Jiang Meiling's brow twitched. Wu Lixia flicked a hand, and an invisible pressure choked the whole crowd silent. Then, Jiang Meiling turned to Wang Tianhai. 4 words. Have you said enough? Ding felt like he'd fallen into an ice cave. Ding couldn't utter a sound. Then she probed the fox with her divine sense, like an invisible sword, straight at the beast, and it was thrown back. A mysterious, vast power bounced her own soul force out, nearly damaged it. Her face paled for an instant. How is that possible? This isn't an ability an ordinary 5th-tier beast could have. An ancient, exotic species? She abandoned the idea of seizing it by force. It must not be taken by force. And in front of everyone, she announced, Li Fan deserves great credit for finding a 5th-tier beast for the sect. Effective immediately, you are promoted to inner sect disciple, with core disciple benefits. And Lixia, you will personally guide him into the inner sect. Yes, sect master. Wu Lixia nodded, her expression complex. Wang Tianhai collapsed, ashen, and Su Qing, giggling beneath the veil, told the sect master that witnessing the birth of a 5th-tier beast made the trip worthwhile. Her purple eyes lingered on me, meaningful, and I felt a chill down my spine. This woman is definitely not simple. Wu Lixia guided me into the inner sect the way you'd guide luggage. She stood there, chin raised, staring at the sea of clouds, silent, ignoring me so long I could have dug a 3-bedroom apartment with my toes. What the hell are you so arrogant about? Then she waved a hand and launched me into the sky like a strapped to a rocket cannonball, wind tearing my face off. It only took a few breaths. I hovered above the inner gate. Below, clouds and mist, elegant courtyards, gurgling springs, cranes dancing, spiritual chi almost solid, paradise next to the outer sect slums. Choose the 8th courtyard on the left, Li Mingzhu's voice said in my head. My heart stirred. I didn't understand, but I did it. Lord Saintus, I want to live in that courtyard. Wu Lixia frowned, as if to say, you have no right to make demands. 8 is my lucky number, I explained fast. Please grant my wish. Too lazy to argue, she flicked her fingers across a jade pendant, tossed it to me like trash, and left one cold sentence. Familiarize yourself within 3 days, then find me at Juechen Peak. And she waved her hand again. Ah! I screamed, launched like a cannonball, and crashed into the courtyard I'd chosen. Bang! Face first, nearly a mouthful of mud. I rubbed my sore buttocks and looked up. She was already gone. Slut. After mentally rehearsing her in 108 positions, I looked around my new home. A sizable independent courtyard, a sacred tree, stone tables, a clear stream with red spirit fish. Inside, spirit wood furniture, a landscape painting, a quiet room with a small spirit gathering array. Compared to my drafty shack, heaven and earth. Then, behind me, a graceful figure appeared. Li Mingzhu, back in human form, white dress, but with a hint of solemnity.
We've now become the target of everyone's criticism, she said. The sect master probed me with divine sense, then gave up halfway. Wu Li Sha is up to no good. And that veiled woman doesn't look like a good person. We need to be careful. I listened to her analysis and nodded. Then I sat down on the spirit wood bed and crossed my legs. Senior sister, your analysis makes sense. So your task now is to cultivate for me immediately. Crazy cultivation. The stronger you are, the safer I am. Her pretty face turned cold. This bastard. I'm here worrying, and he's doing nothing. It's like the emperor isn't worried, but the eunuch is. She flicked her sleeves and turned to leave. But she didn't turn into a streak of light and vanish. She walked straight into the small courtyard across the street, and bang, closed the gate. I was stunned. A strange smile crept onto my face. Hey, I knew it. Why did they make me choose this room? So you want to be my neighbor? She'd never admit it, but the girl had done her homework. Life in the inner gate was paradise, until it tried to kill me. Next morning I woke at Qi Refining level 7. Li Mingzhu's overnight generosity is terrifying. Then a white streak landed in my courtyard. A tall, handsome young man on a blue flying sword. Elegant, jade-faced, the type who charms a whole crowd of junior sisters. I am Jiang Feng from the Law Enforcement Hall, he said. By order of the sect master, here to present your inner disciple allowance. A moon-white robe, a jade token for entering most areas, 100 low-grade spirit stones, and a bottle of cleansing elixir to accelerate cultivation. 100 stones, a whole bottle of elixir. My eyes lit up. My whole month in the outer sect earned a few stones, and they shorted me. Inner disciples get treated differently. Thank you, senior brother. But Jiang Feng lingered. Ding hesitated then. Junior brother Shao, may I see your spirit beast? It's here, I realized instantly. All that groundwork just to gossip. But he'd been polite, so I summoned the fox. She looked at Jiang Feng, and 2 flames of anger lit in her innocent eyes. Ding summoned me again, in front of an outsider. Amazing, Jiang Feng breathed, and reached out to touch the smooth fur. The fox bared tiny snow-white teeth and growled. Ding froze. I turned her head back to normal. Forgive me, she's shy when she wakes up, wary of strangers. Li Mingzhu's hair practically stood on end. Get up? You're the one who got up. Jiang Feng withdrew his hand, embarrassed, and left. But strangely, he didn't fly off. Ding walked to the courtyard across the street. Ding straightened his robes. Ding cleared his throat. Junior Sister Li, are you there? Artifact Refining Hall received a new batch of magic treasure. Care to look together? Silence. Junior Sister Li? Junior Sister Li? Only birdsong. His warm smile stiffened. Ding turned, and met 1 man and 1 fox staring at him, full of doubt. Ding coughed. Ah, Brother Zhao, this Junior Sister Li is incredibly diligent, off seeking guidance from an elder, I suppose, and he fled on his sword. The moment he left, the fox turned into Li Mingzhu, pretty face cold, ready to explode. Don't rush, I said, and I handed her the cleansing elixir. I called you out for this. Take it. She was stunned. This thing was precious, 1 bottle a month per disciple, and I was giving it away. You don't want it? How could I bear to use such good stuff, I said, natural as anything. I'm keeping it to nurture my darling Jade Beast. Ding. Jade Beast Li Mingzhu's mood fluctuates, favorability +10. Her face went warm, a strange warmth from the bottom of her heart. Ding even ignored calling himself Jade Beast. This bastard doesn't seem so bad. But then she realized, cultivate herself? That means the gains come back to him. Far more cost-effective than drinking it. This bastard. The foam relit in her eyes, and she stormed off to cultivate, hating me and cultivating for me, the only relationship model I understand. Then, because she's a menace, she followed me into my room and closed the door. What is this little girl trying to do? A man and a woman alone, and you close the door? She sat on my bed. Let me see yours, she said. Boom! My head exploded. I looked down at my private parts. Senior sister, this isn't appropriate. We publicly declared ourselves Dao companion, but I haven't officially agreed, and you haven't even confessed yet. Her face changed at visible speed. Fair to crimson to liver. Li Fan, that's the one I want to see. My information panel. Oh, I slapped my thigh. You should have said so. You made me misunderstand for so long. I knew you were too pure for that kind of thing. She was about to cry. I showed her the panel. Favorability, -60, climbing. I didn't develop feelings for you, she cried, bristling like a stepped-on cat. It's something wrong with this thing. Yes, there must be. Then she asked to see my page too, and I shut that down hard. Is your master's page something you can look at whenever you want? Don't try to take advantage of my Jade Beast value again. Those are strategic reserves, because my page showed the cultivation pool. The 30% of her work I was quietly banking without telling her. If she found out, she'd pester me for it. Better she thinks her gains just vanish. That keeps her motivated. Can't let her get complacent. It'll affect my grand plan. 2 days later, at Qi Refining Level 9, I got the summons. From Wu Li Sha to Ju Chen Peak. Ju Chen Peak is the home of the Law Enforcement Hall, and Wu Li Sha is its head, which tells you the woman I was walking toward.
2 law enforcement disciples escorted me to her cave, announced me, then fled twice as fast as they'd arrived. That should have been a warning. She left me at her gate in dead silence, so long I began to wonder if she'd gone out. Then a clear, spring water voice, "Let him in." Inside, past layers of dark gauze, she sat reading an old scroll, chin on hand, ignoring me completely. I stood there like I was invisible, extremely annoyed.
Do you really think I'm just here to be punished? You've spoiled me. I strode inside, past the curtains. She finally raised her cool, stunning face. Dark eyes swept over, arrogant as ever, as if all living beings were ants. She stood in a form-fitting black dress, gold thread patterns, wide sleeves, that vermilion mark at her brow, mysterious and dangerous. Where Li Mingzhu's beauty was aloof and charming, Wu Lisha's carried invasion and aggression. Keep pretending, I thought. I'll press that arrogant face into the ground sooner or later. Are you familiar with the sect? She asked, cold. Almost, Lord Saintus, I nodded, all sycophancy. Then she walked right up, within 3 feet. Cool orchid scent, and she pressed a jade finger to my forehead. A chilling breath surged into my body and rampaged through my meridians, and her dark eyes turned bewitching deep blue, ancient runes flowing in the pupils, reading every secret I had. With the system protecting me, what am I afraid of? I stopped resisting. I let the breath roam, and I raised my head and met those blue eyes head on. Come on, take a look. See if you can picture yourself in a maid outfit in my mind.
Her eternal iceberg face rippled for the first time. Surprise, a hint of annoyance. A chi-refining nobody meeting her profound spirit eye head-on. Unheard of. This piece of trash. How dare he? After a few breaths, she withdrew her finger. The blue faded. She sat back down. Then she asked how I'd gone from level 2 to 7 in 10 days. Did I consume treasures or pills? It's here, I thought. I'd rehearsed this 800 times. A complex face, bewilderment, and fear. That night, I dreamt I fell into a huge whirlpool and almost drowned. After waking, I felt an epiphany. My chi sensing sped up several times. My acting was perfect. She listened, deep eyes revealing nothing. And then, after a suffocating silence, she asked, "You have no master in the outer sect?" "Yes, disciple has always been solitary." She stood. An invisible pressure filled the room, and she asked the question that curdled my blood. "Would you be willing to become my disciple?" My eyes widened. Becoming an apprentice? My first reaction wasn't honor. It was extreme vigilance. Are you kidding? A saintess, a golden core master, wanting me? What is she after? Most likely, they want to keep me by their side. Bleeding every day. Slice analysis. Cold sweat soaked my back. This woman is worse than Wang Tianhai and Wang Yang, 1,000,000 times more dangerous. She looked at my jaw drop and gave a cold laugh. A good-for-nothing, stunned by a windfall. Understandable. She was ready to accept my tearful kowtow. Who knew? I took a deep breath, as if making a major decision, and I bowed solemnly. "Lord Saintus, please forgive me. I cannot obey." For the first time in her life, astonishment appeared in her dark pupils. Did she hear right? A chi-refining 7-layer nobody rejected her. Rejected the beast-taming sect Saintus's apprenticeship. In all her years, never, not once. Frost condensed on the green bamboo in the corner. I had no doubt. One wrong word and she'd give me that killing blow without blinking. So I sold it. "Lord Saintus, you misunderstand. Disciple doesn't not want to. Disciple is afraid to." I beat my chest and stamped my feet. "Who are you?" "The bright moon, the future of the sect." "And me?" "A chi-refining nobody who smuggled in from the outer sect. Mediocre in talent, dull in aptitude." "If I became your disciple, the geniuses in the inner sect would think you'd misjudged people and lowered your status." My eyes reddened. "I don't care if people insult me. But your prestige. I must not allow someone like me to taint it. Therefore, I apologize." Disciple cannot agree. Every word came from the bottom of my sword. A loyal little fan willing to sacrifice his promising future. She didn't hear a word. In her mind, 5 characters scrolled back and forth. I got rejected. Ding rejected me. Evil fire shot from her dantian to the top of her head. She desperately wanted to kill someone. "Good," she said slowly. One word. I was overjoyed. Does this mean agreement? We fooled the big shot. And then, go back and prepare. Tomorrow, I apply to the sect master. The apprenticeship ceremony will be in the main hall. You, step back. Question mark. What the heck? I just refused. Why are you forcing me? I wanted to struggle a little longer, but her icy gaze pierced through like 2 invisible swords. My words stuck in my throat. I had a strong premonition. Say half a word of no again, and I would never leave this courtyard. So I wisely closed my mouth. Yes, disciple takes his leave. And I fled the suffocating room. Now I understood why those 2 senior brothers ran so fast. This woman is completely unreasonable. Fine, if that's how you want it. I'm taking a stunning master as a Jade Beast. Quite exciting. What I didn't know was why she really wanted me close. That day at the platform, when Zhang Meiling's divine sense touched the fox, Wu Lisha had caught the flicker of horror on the sect master's face. A 5th-tier beast that could shake a great perfection of golden core. That beast was more than 5th rank. I must have it, she'd decided. No matter what, even if it means exposing my true identity. Xu Guang found me on the way down and pulled me aside.
Important news. The day I entered the inner sect, Wang Tianhai and Wang Yang were taken up the mountain by inner sect brothers, interrogated all night, brought back the next morning. Dinged worried it involved me, so he'd rushed over. And it clicked. Someone had done a background check on me, and Wu Lisha's cold face came to mind. So that's how she knew so much. My wariness deepened. Li Fan, you're in the inner sect now. Be extra careful. And a warmth spread in my chest. At a critical moment, thinking of tipping me off, this guy is a good match. Don't worry, I patted his shoulder. Your brother is tough as nails. You, stop worrying about me and cultivate. When the time comes, I'll introduce you to an intersect senior sister as your Dao companion. Ding nodded emphatically, a kind smile on his face. In immortal land, where hearts are unpredictable, it's a fortunate thing to have one brother who truly cares whether you live. Back home, I told Li Mingzhu, great news, my master decided to take me as her disciple. She rolled her eyes. Only an idiot like you thinks she really wants a disciple. I fell backward onto her bed. This angle perfectly captured her exquisite back. So don't come to me unless it's absolutely necessary, I said. A lone man and a lone woman. I'm afraid my master will misunderstand. She frowned, then rolled her eyes again. Idiot. Then she asked what I plan to do. When soldiers come, generals block them, I said. Since she insists on this play, I'll cooperate properly. Master? Ha! Jade Beast is more like it. The whole inner gate went festive. Lanterns, streamers, a red carpet from the mountain gate to the hall. Because the elusive saintess, who cared for nothing but cultivation, was taking a disciple. A male disciple. A former outer nobody at Qi Refining. Every male in the inner sect wailed with envy. I refused to accept this. Lord Saintess is truly blind. The ceremony ran on rails until my oath. I swore to work harder, never slack off, contribute everything to the sect's rise. And then, straight-faced. At the same time, disciple will serve master wholeheartedly. I won't let master suffer any injustice. Strive to become a master as soon as. No. Solve master's problems as soon as possible. The whole hall went silent. The elder running the ceremony twitched. Did this kid misread the words? Wu Lixia's eternal ice face developed a barely there blush at her ear. She glared. This bastard. But she accepted the tea, took a symbolic sip, and gave me a heart-cleansing bell. Calms the mind, dispels heart demons. Thank you, master. And then, ghost in my ear. From now on, every morning, come to Juchen Peak. I will personally supervise your cultivation. My scalp tingled. I turned stiffly and met her stunning face and managed a smile worse than crying. Yes. At the welcome banquet, a swarm of sycophants circled me, sour-sweet congratulations, and across the room, a dozen intersect senior brothers swarmed Li Mingzhu, fawning, offering gifts. She stood there with a polite, distant smile, drowning in the same disgusting attention she'd fled the outer sect to escape. So I shoved through the crowd and grabbed her boneless hand. Senior sister, I've finally found you. Then, loud enough to carry. Dear senior brothers, you may not know. Mingzhu and I, back in the outer sect, already fell in love and secretly pledged our lives. Everything I do is so I can enter the inner sect and stay with her forever. Boom. A thunderclap from a clear sky. She was half embraced by me, that aloof face already red as a ripe apple, head down, lashes trembling. Where was there any rebuttal? A confession, confirmed. The senior brothers' hearts shattered as one. The strongest of them, face pale, squeezed out a few words through gritted teeth. Truly, it makes us outsiders so envious. Fate is a wonderful thing, I grinned. Then a monkey-cheeked one dropped the sarcastic taunt. Junior brother Xiao has won 2 beauties, a double blessing. But the Eastern Wasteland Secret Realm trial begins in a month. Elites from Heavenly Sword Sect, Dangsha Valley, and others will participate. You must bring glory to our sect. Everyone smirked. A Qi Refining 8-layer waste, in a trial of sect elites, crushed to death by a single finger. I just nodded. Of course, to bring glory to the sect is our duty. That made everyone even more unhappy. What an arrogant brat. And I pulled Li Mingzhu onto her flying sword, wrapped my arms around her waist, and, before leaving, turned around, smug. Dear senior brothers, enjoy your drinks. Senior sister and I will go rest. A row of green faces. Remember that trial. It's the thing that eventually takes me somewhere I can't come back from. The next morning, I baited Li Mingzhu into cultivating like a maniac. Oh dear, I overslept, I shouted outside her window. I have to get to master right away, or I'll be in big trouble. A sly grin. As expected, her cultivation feedback stopped for a moment, then surged several times more violent. Hey, this little girl still has potential to unlock. Then I hiked up to Juchen for my supervised cultivation. Along the way, disciples flying past on swords looked at me with complicated eyes. Resentment, jealousy. A few even stopped, called out, Junior brother Xiao, then left reluctantly. I was Saintess's personal disciple now, statuses worlds apart. In her courtyard, Wu Lixia was practicing sword work in a tight black dress, purple lightning crackling around the blade. Deadly, domineering, graceful as a goddess dancing with a sword. What a vixen. The mighty Saintess, not practicing beast-taming, just swords. But I stood quiet and enjoyed the view. Those long legs, if she wore black stockings. Hiss. Unhealthy images. Half an hour later, she sheathed the sword. Why are you only arriving now? Reporting to Master, I can't fly on a sword yet. I came running. She gave me a disapproving look. Come in with me. Inside, the room had changed. Formation flags in the corners. Black ones, mostly for killing formations. Blue ones for gathering and calming. There shouldn't be danger. This is the spirit gathering array, she said. Sit down. Cultivate for a week. I gritted my teeth and sat in the center. Buzz. The array activated, and a warm, pleasant current wrapped around me. My mind went foggy, sleepy, comfortable. I just wanted to fall asleep. Just as my consciousness was about to sink, bite. Host detected about to enter an unknown hypnotic state. To ensure the system functions, the absolute clarity program will forcibly start. Bzzz. Cool chi flooded my mind. All drowsiness gone. I snapped back to reality. Hypnosis. That vile woman was up to no good. Then a cool orchid fragrance came from in front of me. Wu Li Xia had come over. Eyes closed, I dared not move. I wanted to see what this cheap mechanic was up to. She looked at her unsuspecting apprentice, a cold smile on her lips. She flipped her hand. A black talisman covered in eerie red patterns. She hesitated. Then she bit out a drop of crimson liquid tinged with gold. Heart's blood. It merged into the talisman. Bzzz. The talisman combusted without flame, into black smoke, and drifted toward my brow and entered. Warning. Warning. An unknown heart demon seed detected invading the host's divine soul. System auto-cleaning. Her aloof face hardened. Because the demon seed, formed from the essence of her own heart's blood, the moment it entered my body, was like a mouse falling into a cat's nest. It went around once. Not only failed to plant, but picked up an overwhelming ferocity that wasn't its own, turning on her. How is that possible? She panicked. The seed was connected to her divine soul. A backfire would be unimaginable. She scrambled to sever the link, and the useless apprentice in front of her opened his eyes. I raised my head, looked at that pretty face covered in a fine layer of cold sweat, deathly pale in a flurry of activity. I blinked, innocent and naive. Master, what's wrong? Why is your face so pale? Boom. That one word, Master, struck her divine soul like thunder. How did he wake up? My soul-calling formation isn't working. Impossible. Her concentration shattered. The suppression of the demon seed was lost. Buzz. The seed she'd forced back counterattacked. Her body trembled violently. In her mind, the room filled with one image. That face, that smug smile, and that sentence. Master, what's wrong? Her unwavering Tao heart, at this moment. One was planted. His name was Li Fan. Demon seed. She swayed, white as death, and I was ecstatic, and I did not show it. Instead, I switched to a terrified face. Master. I rushed forward, exaggerated, and caught her swaying body. Master, what's wrong? Don't scare me. I'm easily frightened. Her legs went weak. Everything went black. She fell. Master, be careful. I put my arm around her waist, caught her long legs, and lifted. A classic princess carry. From where she stood to the bed was a dozen steps. I took 3, then stopped. Took 5, then rested, panting like a hero. My hands, meanwhile, extremely busy. Saintus is Saintus, a completely different flavor from Li Mingju. She was too weak to stop me. I laid her gently on her fragrant bed, copping every feel a fake rescue allows. She whispered for me to keep this between us. Never tell a soul. I nodded solemnly. Master, I'm very tight-lipped, and I offered to stay and take care of her, even massage her shoulders and legs, until she found the strength to open her eyes and gather a killing intent. Roll. One word. I wisely stood up. Yes, yes, but before I left, I didn't forget the performance. Master, it's chilly at night. Cover yourself. I grabbed the brocade quilt, and the moment I covered her, my restless hand accidentally brushed her curves. Master, I'm leaving. Please rest. And I turned back every few steps. Master, I'm really leaving. If you need anything, call me. How about I come over again tonight? You can sleep in the outer room. Roll. This time, filled with despair and shame, I shrank my neck and left. Alone in her cave, Wu Lixia looked inward and found a black seed rooted on her Tao heart that no cultivation, no cleansing could budge. It even faintly exuded a cheerful message. It seemed to really enjoy being there. She spat a mouthful of blood onto the quilt. It's over. Completely over. This seed was made with her own heart's blood, fused with a fragment of the ancient secret technique, mind connection. Once planted, it linked to the other person's divine soul, and she understood the only 2 ways to remove it. Form a Tao companion with the man it's linked to, so yin and yang harmonize and the demon dissolves. Or kill him, both body and soul destroyed, so the root is lost forever. To become Tao companion with him? She spat lightly. She'd rather shatter her Tao heart and destroy her cultivation. So there was only one path. A fierce killing intent flashed. So what if he has the 5th tier beast? Li Fan, you must die. And me, strolling down the mountain, savoring the lingering softness on my hands. Tisk tisk. Soft, fragrant, cool. It's a pity I couldn't touch more. But there's plenty of time. I knew this wasn't over. Once she recovered, she'd try again. So I had to take the initiative first, take advantage of her illness, and kill her.
Contract slots unlocked. Just advance to Foundation Establishment, exchange a bronze symbol, and this high and mighty master is mine. I need to hurry up and push Li Mingzhu. I didn't know I'd just been sentenced. I was too busy being happy. Back home, Li Mingzhu was blocking my door. You spent the whole morning on the mountain with her, she gritted out. What did you do? Master and I are innocent, I said, righteous. We were discussing cultivation. She didn't believe it, so I lowered my voice, serious. Master gave me a thorough inside-out examination. Then she lost control for a moment, got too emotional, felt weak all over, was covered in sweat, couldn't even stand. Her face turned red. A physical exam? Emotionally agitated? Sweating? What inhuman, lewd words. Then what? Then I picked her up. She's my master. We can't let her fall. I carried her to bed to rest. Boom. Li Mingzhu's mind exploded. Ding carried her? Countless unhealthy images. Li Fan, I'll kill you. She raised a hand, but it stopped an inch from my cheek, blocked by the contract's invisible wall. Hey, senior sister, calm down. I grabbed her boneless hand and pulled her onto a stone bench, and I told her the truth, mostly. Wu Lisha tried to plant a demon seed. It backfired. Her Dao heart is damaged and very weak, and I painted myself as a strategist who wins from afar. Li Mingzhu processed the flood. Then she got it. You mean? That's right. I snapped my fingers. Strike while the iron is hot and kill her. Our great cause has entered a critical phase. Cultivate with all your might. I'll break through to Foundation Establishment soon. Exchange a bronze symbol, and imagine it. My Lord Saintus, all the Jade Beast value I earn is for you to spend. We'll eat talent pills like candy. Doesn't Wu Lixia like to be aloof? I'll have her serve you tea and massage your legs. She bullied you? We'll bully her back tenfold. Devil's whispers. And Li Mingzhu felt that indescribable exhilaration again. Good, but I have one condition. After you contract her, you're not allowed to grope her like this. I put on a stern face. Senior sister, that's where you're wrong. No sense of teamwork. A loving touch with your Jade Beast is essential. You're not human, she said, and left, slamming my door off its hinges. For the next few days, life went unusually peaceful. Li Mingzhu never appeared, but the pure river kept flowing. She was cultivating harder than anyone. I climbed to Qi refining level 9. The panel showed 360 value. 4 more days, and I'd have 520. A bronze symbol costs 500. More than enough. As long as I break through Foundation Establishment. Wu Lixia, that little wench. You tried to set me up. Wait till I become your master. Just as I sat cultivating. Sudden, boom, an indescribable terrifying force, no warning. The ground shook. My shack creaked, near collapse. The teacup shattered. I scrambled out, and I saw every inner disciple in the sect out of their courtyards, staring in shock at one place. Spirit-taming Peak, the sect's absolute forbidden land, where the sect master stood alone every day in the cold wind. The dozen powerful arrays that shrouded that lonely peak, the ones I'd noticed were dim and cracked, had shattered. Colorful fragments rained from the sky, revealing the black, hideous mountainside. Then a white streak, Zhang Meiling, shot up from the main hall toward the broken peak. Her voice, dignified and, for once, urgent. All disciples, return to your residences immediately. No noise, no discussion, no unauthorized leaving. Disobey and be severely punished. The whole inner gate went silent in a breath. I retreated into my room, leaned on the door, and knew. Something terrible had happened. I had a very bad feeling. Up on Spirit-taming Peak, Zhang Meiling knelt before a stone bed in a hidden cave, weeping. On the bed sat a white-haired phantom, faint enough that a breath might scatter it, smiling gently. Xiaoling, you've come. The former sect master. Zhang Meiling's own master. The one who'd found a heaven-defying treasure 100 years ago and gone into seclusion. She was about to ascend, to die. Her core had been shattered a century back by an old enemy who'd ganged up with a few others. She'd never recovered. If I'd known it would end like this, the old woman said, 100 years ago I shouldn't have gone to that damned 9-nether secret realm. If it weren't for that old man Guo Cheng and a few others surrounding me and shattering my golden core. She asked if Guo Cheng had reached nascent soul. Ding had, 30 years ago. She nodded, deep worry passing over her kind face. From now on, she said, the beast-taming sect is entirely in your hands. That old thief thought I wasn't quite dead. Now my last wisp is about to dissipate. Your road ahead will be even harder. She rose, illusory, ready to transmit 100 years of understanding. As for how much you can understand, that depends on your destiny. And then, mid-transmission, both of them turned their heads sharply. On that tearful, stunning face, an expression change. A slender, dark figure had shot out from Juchen Peak. It turned into a streak of light and flew straight for a target. The exact direction of Li Fan. Me. I was pacing my room, worrying whether my cheap master had gone full world-destroying demon leader. Boom! A tremendous force. The door and half the wall turned to powder. I looked up, and a slender figure stood at the door. Wu Lixia, still in a tight black dress. That aloof face, no trace of the earlier weakness. Spiritual qi surging. Dark eyes locked on me, looking at me like a dead man. My heart sank. It's over. Barbecue is here, and she's back in peak mode, and I'm not ready. 4 days. Couldn't you have stayed in bed 4 more days? I rushed forward, terrified concern all over my face. Master, you're all right now? I've been so worried I couldn't eat or sleep. She didn't lift an eyelid. Come with me. Fingers curling toward my collar. Alarm bells everywhere. I jump back over 10 meters into the yard. Master, where are we going? The sect master just ordered no one to leave. I'm a coward. I dare not disobey. I use Jiang Mei Ling as a shield. Court death, she said out of patience. And she waved a hand and bound me with invisible ropes, drawing closer, hand reaching. It's over. Dark life forever. And then the ropes vanished. A silver-haired figure in white had appeared silently in the center of my room. Jiang Mei Ling. Wu Liqia's expression shattered. Sect master. Jiang Mei Ling didn't look at me. She glided to Wu Liqia and, seemingly lightly, threw a palm. Bang. Wu Liqia took it head-on, groaned, and flew back. My already ruined shack was leveled, the ground torn up. I got blasted a good distance, landing on my ass, disoriented. Holy crap! And I didn't stop to feel the pain. I scrambled up and ran down the mountain. The beast-taming sect was no longer a safe place. The sect master just palmed the saintess through a wall. If I don't run, I lose my life here. Wu Liqia knocked back dozens of feet, drew her blue flying sword. It shattered into hundreds of sword chi. And Jiang Mei Ling, hands behind her back, spotless in the wreckage, said the thing that reframed my whole world. Is this all the Heavenly Sword sect has, besides shady methods? Hidden in my sect for 100 years. Have you found what you are looking for? Wu Liqia, the saintess of the beast-taming sect, was the secret head of the Heavenly Sword sect, a 100-year infiltrator, the one whose master had shattered the old sect master's core a century ago? She went cold, realized Jiang Mei Ling had known all along, and turned into a sword beam to flee. She'd been hiding her true late golden core strength, far below a great perfection of golden core. But she couldn't leave me alive, not with that seed in her, so she shot toward me instead. Jiang Mei Ling engaged. 2 masters, swords crisscrossing, carving a bottomless ravine. A white spirit snake phantom colliding with a sky of swordlight. Mountains crumbling. But Jiang Mei Ling knew she couldn't take Wu Liqia quickly, and her own master couldn't hold much longer. So she flashed behind me as I fled screaming for my life, plucked me up by the collar, and carried me back towards Spirit Taming Peak. Don't grab me. I don't know anything. Sect master, where are you taking me? She ignored me. She dropped me at the Founder's Cave, slapped down a black formation plate, and a massive light screen shot up, sealing the whole cave behind a mountain protection formation, just as Wu Liqia's black sword light caught up and slammed into the barrier. For the first time, Wu Liqia looked afraid. She actually used the sect protection array on that little cave. I got dumped on the ground. I dusted myself off. I peeked into the cave. Deep inside, Jiang Mei Ling sat cross-legged, holy, palms pressed against a white-haired phantom, a visible current of power flowing between an old woman and a young girl. And outside, behind the barrier, Wu Liqia floated, staring, realizing the old woman was giving up her own breakthrough to force-feed Jiang Mei Ling 100 years of experience, which meant Jiang Mei Ling, one opportunity from a bottleneck-free breakthrough to nascent soul, was about to become a very big problem. So Wu Liqia turned to the only lever she had left and screamed at me. Li Fan, go in, interrupt them, quickly. I completely ignored her, because I had my ear tilted toward the cave. And even though the old woman's words landed on me like celestial gibberish, I had a strong feeling this thing was pretty awesome, an incredible opportunity. When she screamed again, I turned, frowned, and told her, "Off, you stinky woman, don't shout. You're disturbing my studying." She was dumbfounded. This piece of trash insulted her. And then the sect's golden core elders came streaking in, saw the scene, and screamed, "Traitor, witch!" And Wu Liqia, out of chances, spat the last of her plan. The founder is as good as dead. Jiang Mei Ling is about to break through. This is the Heavenly Sword sect's best and last shot at the beast-taming sect. And she fled, the elders chasing. I tiptoed into the cave and sat in a corner. Then a thought. Li Mingzhu appeared in my arms as a fox, dizzy, having just been yanked in by one-click follow. I shushed her. Don't talk, just listen. Memorize every word, even if you don't understand it. She perked her fox ears. And the moment those profound truths hit her, her eyes blazed, because with her blue talent, she understood instantly. This wasn't a manual. This was a direct reflection on the great Tao itself, 100 times more precious than any secret scripture. She lost herself in it. Me? I lasted about 3 sentences. Qi transforms yin and yang, spirits roam the vast void, the tribulation of nascent soul, heavenly lightning, and the heart demon. My eyelids drooped. Gibberish. Never mind. Not something a genius like me needs to learn. If the fox learns it, it's the same as me learning it. So I gave up and looked at the beautiful sweating sect master, dignified and holy, and thought some deeply inappropriate thoughts about maid outfits. And got caught. Her golden eyes snapped open. Sun and moon and stars wheeling in them, precise as a blade, and landed on me. She summoned me over, and here's where it turned my way. The transmission had drained her. She was down to a wisp of strength, and every golden core elder in the sect had gone chasing Wu Li Sha, leaving nobody home. So she handed me a smooth jade tablet, the sect master's personal cloud pattern token, and a silver teleportation talisman, and she sent me on the one errand only an unimportant person could run. Take this jade token and head to Dansha Valley immediately. Find Valley Master Su Qing. Ask her to come lend a hand. Be quick. I did not want to. Sect master, you should find someone else. I can't even fly on a sword. It's too late. She shook her head. Take the teleportation talisman. Go to the inner teleportation array. You'll land outside Dansha Valley. We have to be quick. And she closed her eyes and re-entered that mysterious state. So I ran. I ran wildly down the mountain, through a completely deserted, eerily silent sect. And I fed the talisman my spiritual energy, and the world stretched and twisted into color. And I landed on a jade platform in a vast, warm, medicine-scented herb field, the outer sect of Dansha Valley, where 7 or 8 beautiful female disciples in matching green immediately surrounded me with swords and tried to arrest me as a heavenly sword sect spy. Beast-taming sect inner disciple at Chi Refining, acting on the sect master's orders? They laughed. Do you think we're 3-year-olds? A spy from the heavenly sword sect. So I raised the cloud pattern token as high as I could and shouted the most direct sentence of my whole transmigration. The sect master's token is here. You've delayed something incredibly important. Can you bear the responsibility? That shut them up. An early golden core elder named Ding arrived, took one look at the token, and her whole attitude changed. Seeing this order is like seeing the sect master himself. She flew me deep into the valley on a jade gourd. Past valleys turned into rainbow medicine fields. Past industrious green-robed women who were, I noted with professional interest, all quite pleasing to the eye, to a white marble palace where the valley master reclined. Su Qing, unveiled today. Purple palace dress with a scandalous slit. Ripple eyes that peeled you like fruit. She listened to my whole report. Wu Li Sha's defection, the old founder's phantom, Zhang Mei Ling's coming breakthrough, with a face as calm as deep water. Until I mentioned the founder breaking the mirror, her eyes rippled faintly. Then she made me wait. 3 days of house arrest. 2 Foundation establishment nuns stood guard at my door the whole time. And outside, streaks of golden core light flew to and from the palace. A high-level Dansha Valley meeting. And far away, a fleet of dozens of flying treasure ships blotted out the sky and marched on the beast-taming sect. On the lead dragon-headed ship stood a white-bearded old man in a star-patterned robe. Space itself distorting around him. Guo Cheng, the sole nascent soul ancestor of the heavenly sword sect, the man who'd shattered the founder's core a century ago. And beside him, in luxurious silver-white sword robes, veiled, dark eyes cold, Wu Li Sha, home at last, marching to crush the sect that raised her cover. On day 3, Su Qing glided into my room, all languid charm, and got to the real point. Would I join Dansha Valley as her saint? All resources at my disposal, and she was the Eastern Wasteland's only alchemy grandmaster. Want some?
Naked temptation. I played the loyal fool who couldn't betray his sect, and dodged. And just when I thought I'd blown it, she turned at the door and left me one sentence. Pack up, we depart in 1 hour. For the beast-taming sect. I never did figure out what flipped her. 2 hours later, Dongxia Valley's jade ships rose, nearly the whole force mobilized, and I stood behind Su Qing on the flagship deck as she reclined on white fur, in a mood, one shapely leg catching the sun. She was in a good mood, openly displaying that stunning face. When she caught me looking, she turned her head, half smile. What are you looking at? I flattered fast. Valley Master Su is truly righteous. Such chivalry, unafraid of powerful enemies, personally leading the army to rescue my sect, a model for all cultivators. She let out a soft laugh. She poured tea. I went to such great lengths, deploying half of Dongxia Valley's strength. Will it be a wasted trip? As long as we defeat the heavenly sword sect, I said. You are the greatest benefactor of my sect, and the sect master will reward you handsomely. A generous reward? She chuckled and shook her head. She looked out at the horizon, toward the beast-taming sect. What I want, I'm afraid your beast-taming sect won't be willing to give it to me. My heart pounded. What exactly does this enchantress want? And the ship broke the clouds toward home at full speed. We arrived to the apocalypse. The heavenly sword sect had already shattered the 1,000-year sect protection array. Guo Cheng cracked it with one white finger wind. Dozens of golden core elders finished it, and the whole array broke like glass under a hammer. Then the slaughter. White sword light rained on the unprotected sect. The beast-taming sect fought. Elders spitting blood, vowing to live and die with the sect. Disciples summoning beasts only to be cut in half beside them. The square became a bloody meat grinder. It was hopeless. Lower cultivation, fewer numbers, dozens of golden core enemies waiting in comfort. And Guo Cheng, ignoring the ants below, flashed to spirit-taming peak to stop Zhang Mei Ling's breakthrough. Ding dissolved the elder's restriction like snow in the sun, revealing her sitting there haloed in gold, at the critical juncture of becoming nascent soul. Just as his spiritual giant hand rose to crush her skull, a palm-sized jade cauldron flew in, grew to 3 zhang, and enveloped her. And a purple butterfly of a figure appeared between Guo Cheng and the cauldron. Su Qing, facing a nascent soul ancestor with a smile. Senior Li, let's talk this out. And her opening move was pure genius. She informed him, sweetly, that the beast-taming sect owed Dansha Valley an enormous sum for pills and spirit plants. 30 million low-grade spirit stones, compounding interest. And if you wipe the sect out, who would repay her? Wipe out the sect, and you wipe out her debtor. Guo Cheng's face went black. 30 million? Why don't you just rob someone? She was stalling him, buying Jiang Meiling time, one absurd invoice at a time. While behind them, the trapped sect master's aura grew steadily more solid. I was near the battlefield now, and I saw Wu Lixia hovering, hunting for me. I knew that despicable woman was here to finish me. So I summoned Li Mingju, the fox, and had her feed me cultivation as fast as she could. Because I had enough value now for a bronze contract symbol. I just needed to break through to Foundation establishment first. "Give me cultivate now, immediately," I whispered. "I need it to break through." She was terrified, but she got it. If Li Fan dies, she can't survive either. She gritted her teeth and started cultivating like mad. Then, boom, 100 times louder than any explosion. A golden pillar of light from the depths of spirit-taming peak. A stunning silver-haired phantom that blotted out half the sky, haloed in sunlight. Nascent soul stage pressure sweeping the whole battlefield. Jiang Meiling's breakthrough. Successful. The arrogant Heavenly Sword sect disciples scattered in terror, and the beast-taming sect in Danxia Valley, greatly encouraged, pressed a final, furious attack. I saw my chance. I grabbed Li Mingju and jumped off the flying ship, hundreds of feet up. Her gentle wind saved us from becoming paste. "Don't use your sword, it's too conspicuous." And I ran, dragging her along, toward the outer sect at the foot of the mountain. A desperate, frantic escape, while gods fought overhead. The once aloof goddess, dragged so hard she stumbled, skirt torn by branches, hair a mess, face streaked with mud. Faster, faster. She'd never been so embarrassed in her life. I twisted and turned through the familiar paths, and I stopped outside a stinking yard, the Spirit Beast Garden. Li Mingju saw the crooked sign and went pale. A foul stench of feces and hay. "Why did you bring me here?" Her voice trembled. "Shut up," I said. "The most dangerous place is the safest place. This is called the darkest place is under the lamp. The whole sect is in chaos. Who'd think we're hiding in a manure pile?" She bit her lip. She understood the logic. Emotionally, a different story. She took a cushion from her storage pouch, set it down carefully, and sat cross-legged, disgust on her face. And she cultivated for me while I watched the yard. Time passed. The battle toward spirit-taming peak only escalated. And then, bite. Bronze contract talisman successfully redeemed. Finally, it's done. My cultivation bar sat at 98% of Qi refining level 9, one step from foundation establishment. Wu Lixia, you son of a bitch. Once I establish my foundation, you're the first one I deal with. But her bloodseed sense found me first. Jiang Meiling's breakthrough had flooded the world with power. So Wu Lixia forced out another drop of heart's blood, a secret technique to activate the demon seed senses. The cost was enormous, but she couldn't care. A strange blue light shone in her eyes, and she saw a figure glowing faint blue running through a jungle. Found it. She shot toward me. I felt a cold, killing intent lock onto me. I looked up, a silvery white light streaking straight for the Spirit Beast Garden. Wu Lixia. She caught up. No, I couldn't let her be exposed. Behind me, Li Mingju was still frantically feeding me cultivation, so I bolted out of the garden in the opposite direction, drawing Wu Lixia away from Li, and I ran, lungs bursting, sword light shearing trees as thick as a man clean in half, missing my back by inches. Cough. My organs felt shifted. I ran faster, and then I saw a familiar building through the trees, the outer sect's outhouse, where I used to fetch water, and a plan bloomed. I swerved into the reeking building, and Wu Lixia stopped outside, disgusted, thinking I'd hidden in filth to save myself. What an idiot. She raised a finger to slice the whole thing to dust, and me with it, and that's when I kicked the door open. And I hurled with all my strength a long-handled dung ladle, still coated in an indescribable substance, straight at that flawless, high and mighty saintess face. Take a spoonful from me. A yellow parabola, full of dynamism, straight at the goddess. Her expression shattered. She evaporated it 3 feet from her nose with pure golden core power. But the insult, the smell, broke something in the proud saintess that no sword could. "Court death!" she screamed, spiritual power erupting. And I switched instantly to my most innocent face. "Master? Why is it you? I thought it was thieves chasing me. Oh my God, you scared me." As if the madman who'd just thrown excrement wasn't me at all, because at that same moment, the golden phantom of Jiang Meiling's ascension peaked, and heavenly sword ships were fleeing in a panic. They'd lost, a crushing defeat. Wu Lixia knew if she fell into Jiang Meiling's hands, it would be a fate worse than death. So she had to kill me before she left. A flying sword aimed at my brow. "Wait." I stared at it, terrified. "Master, spare my life. I'm willing to give you the 5th-tier spirit beast." That paused her. Because that beast was the whole reason she'd built this scheme. Even if the plan failed, obtaining it would mean the heart's blood wasn't wasted. I didn't delay. I pulled out the bronze contract symbol and walked toward her with a pained, reluctant face.
Master, Disciple knows how much you love this beast. This is the contract transfer token I found with it in an ancient immortal cave. As long as you have this talisman, I'll sever my link and the beast recognizes you. She took the bronze talisman with some skepticism, ice cold in her hand. She held it up to examine it, and at that exact moment, inside my body, a force that had been building forever, all of Li Mingzhu's frantic labor, broke the sturdy realm barrier. Qi refining level 9. Peak. Breakthrough. Foundation establishment. Early stage. Wu Lixia looked up, horrified, as the useless disciple who was Qi refining a moment ago blazed into foundation establishment right in front of her, and she saw my face. No more fear, no more flattery, just a hunter looking at prey, that undisguised, aggressive grin. Master, do you know? I've been eyeing you for a long time. Her pupils shrank. Too late. Buzz. The talisman came alive. It wrapped her in golden light. Dozens of golden chains of a law she couldn't comprehend ignored her protection and pierced straight into her divine soul. Imprinting another person's mark? What is that? She paled. She unleashed her full late golden core power to shatter the chains, and it dissolved like scorching snow on red-hot iron. Not even a ripple. Late golden core cultivator Wu Lixia detected. Extremely strong resistance. Forced contract initiating. 10%, 30, 60. No. In her mind, the cold voice. Currently communicating with host Li Fan. Once the contract forms, you become the host's exclusive Jade Beast and cannot harm it. Jade Beast? Make me Li Fan's Jade Beast? An unprecedented shame and rage. She'd rather her divine soul be annihilated. Get out of my way! She used her greatest strength to crush the chains, and it dissolved like a clay ox in the sea. Ding! Contract complete. The golden light dissipated, and the law chains were deeply imprinted in her divine soul. It can no longer be removed. Jade Beast, Wu Lixia, late golden core. Aptitude, Immortal's attire, purple. Favorability, -100, hate to the core. Daily output, 100 Jade Beast value. Purple talent, 100 a day. My heart didn't even pretend to be calm. It's out. This time it's really big. I didn't think about you for so long for nothing. I leaned close and took a deep breath of pine after snow. Master, what are you thinking about? She looked up and a raging fire of murderous intent ignited. She pointed her fingers like a sword. One deadly sword chi at my forehead, and it vanished with a poof like a popped soap bubble. She was stunned, and I grabbed her slender waist, soft, tight, amazing, and princess carried her. Her sword chi and spells bombarding me and dissipating on contact. From a distance, exactly like a girl playfully coaxing her lover. Then, in her rage, she turned her sword on Li Mingzhu, who just appeared instead, and the system stopped it cold. Warning, Jade Beasts must not attack each other. The sword fell limp, and Wu Lixia, staring at a bewildered Li Mingzhu, whispered in disbelief, "You are really in trouble too." Li Mingzhu, realizing Wu Lixia couldn't hurt her, got bold immediately. "Is it comfortable?" she asked in the sourest voice. I hugged the saintess tighter, sweet and soft.
Comfortable. Li Mingzhu's face went dark. My mother worked herself half to death in that garden so you could break through, and you're here having romantic escapades with your arch-nemesis? Then Golden Core elders came streaking in to clean up the battlefield. Wu Lixia tried to bolt, and I one-click followed her right back to my feet. She stared, horrified. Even a nascent soul couldn't force move a late Golden Core that quietly. Li Mingzhu strolled up and gloated. "Lord Saintess, how have you been? Didn't you want to learn my spatial technique? Now you can do it yourself. How does it feel?" Wu Lixia's face flashed green, then white, and then the elders drew close, and I dropped Wu Lixia into the Jade Beast space. Her frantic screams of bastard, beast, trash, echoing in my head, and somehow, I didn't find it noisy at all. On the contrary, I really enjoyed listening. "Master, you scold like it's affection," I told her. "I like it." And her cursing got louder, while her ears, wherever they were, turned red. 3 elders landed, covered in blood, breathing hard. "What's the situation with the outer sect? Have you seen any heavenly sword remnants?" Li Mingzhu bowed respectfully and pointed east. Disciple just saw several suspicious sword flashes flee that way. "Good. You two, return to the inner gate. Let's go after them." And they chased ghosts. And Li Mingzhu and I looked at each other. Puffed. Both of us burst out laughing. Survived. And won over Wu Lixia. Happiness. Spontaneous. "Let's go back," I said, "and teach this saintess a lesson." Then we returned to that familiar bluestone square, and the laughter died in our throats. The whole plaza had become a blood-red scene, the reek of it in the air. Countless mangled corpses piled in every corner. Beast-taming and heavenly sword both. Spirit beasts dead beside their masters. The bluestone stained dark red. Survivors walking numbly through the dead, lifting comrades, laying them in neat rows. Nobody spoke. Those vibrant faces from before, all cold corpses now. The sect won, but the price was too high. 2 figures stood before the main hall. Jiang Mei Ling, silver hair, plain white dress, just broken through nascent soul. And Su Qing, purple robes, natural charm, standing together. And Su Qing's purple eyes found me in the crowd. She said something to the sect master. And Jiang Meiling's pale golden eyes turned to me and Li Mingzhu, and, straight into our minds, cold and absolute. "You two, come here." We crossed the blood-soaked square and bowed. Su Qing teased me first. Little brother, I looked everywhere for you. Everyone fought tooth and nail for the sect, and I couldn't find you anywhere. I gave the coward's answer. My strength is too weak. I'd only cause trouble, so I hid to avoid dragging everyone down. Li Mingju bit back a laugh. Hid? You were groping a golden core saintess. Then Jiang Meiling cut in. She looked at Li Mingju, remembered the rumors, and a flicker of amusement crossed those golden eyes. Li Mingju, Wu Li Sha has defected. The saintess seat is vacant. You're exceptionally talented and of impeccable character. From today, you are the new saintess of the beast-taming sect. Li Mingju nearly fainted from joy. She dreamed of trampling Wu Li Sha, and Wu Li Sha had vacated the throne for her. Saintess, highest resources, the essential techniques, mountains of spirit stones. She kept her cool, played humble, worried she wasn't golden core yet. Jiang Meiling waved it off. Your breath is solid, your power pure. Golden core is just a matter of time, Li Mingju kowtowed, and I stood there, thrilled for her. A saintess jade beast cultivating with sect resources would feed me even faster. Then Jiang Meiling turned those golden eyes on me. It's here, I thought. Reward time. Hundreds of thousands of spirit stones? A top magic treasure? What I got instead. As Wu Li Sha's personal disciple, I'd committed a heinous crime by association, but my aid mission offset it, so I'd be spared death. Instead, per sect rules, my cultivation should be abolished and I should be expelled. But Valley Master Su is very interested in you. From today, you are no longer my disciple. Follow Valley Master Su to Danxia Valley. Sold. I risked my life running for reinforcements so she could ascend safely, and she was selling the donkey to a beautiful, terrifying fox the second the grinding was done. Su Qing swayed over, purple eyes gleaming. Little brother, thank the sect master and come home with sister. Your life will be 100 times happier. And I made my move. Sect master, please rescind your order. I grabbed Li Mingju's boneless hand and switched to a face full of deep affection. Danxia Valley is a land of talents, and Valley Master Su is exceptional and admirable. But senior sister Li and I fell in love in the outer sect and secretly pledged our lives. Why do you think a piece of trash broke from level 2 to here in a month? To catch up to her. We promised, once my foundation is complete, we'd become Dao companions and stay together forever. Now I've done my mission, and she's saintess. This is the perfect time to tie the knot. Send me to Danxia, and we're separated forever. Sick from longing. Heartbreaking. Li Mingju went scarlet, wanting to die of shame, but I had her hand in an iron grip. Su Qing's smile vanished, and Jiang Meiling, with the faintest flicker of pleasure in her golden eyes, frowned on cue and demanded, Li Mingju, is this true? Li Mingju trembled, met the sect master's gaze, glanced at my deeply affectionate face, and, under everyone's stare, lowered her head and whispered, reporting to sect master, this is indeed true. Jiang Meiling used it perfectly. She turned to Su Qing with a troubled look. Valley Master Su, look at this. Su Qing, a shrewd operator, understood instantly. She'd been outplayed. The sect master had named the girl Saintess, then used the future Saintess's man as an unbreakable shield. She couldn't demand a Saintess's partner by force. She lost. But she laughed it off gracefully. Since that's the case, I shouldn't be the villain who steals what others love. She congratulated me on my talent, capable of getting a future Saintess, and let it go. And Jiang Meiling, since our old houses were wrecked, sent us to stay at Wu Li Sha's Juechen Peak, the best preserved cave, the densest spiritual qi in the inner sect. We bowed our thanks, and as we walked away, Jiang Meiling's golden eyes lingered on my back, deep as the sea, thoughtful. Juechen Peak's attic was serene, cold, and simple, exactly like its owner. I flopped on the fragrant couch and summoned Wu Li Sha out of the Jade Beast space. She appeared pale, frightened. She'd watched and heard my whole deal with the two big shots from inside that pitch-black space. She saw us sitting on her bed, in her house. Humiliation shot to her skull. What are you looking at? Look again, and I'll gouge your dog eyes out, which only made me grin wider. Look, I told Li Mingju. When you were first contracted, you looked exactly like her. Just as fierce. Li Mingju glared. Don't compare me to her. I'm not that stupid. Then I showed both of them Wu Li Sha's panel, to humiliate her and to light a fire under Li Mingju. Purple aptitude, 100 value a day. Li Mingju went pale, more than double her own output. Was she worth less to me than Wu Li Sha? So I gave her the reward. I drained 355 strands of pure spirit source from the pool and poured it all into Li Mingju at once, and she blew straight through the great perfection barrier with no bottleneck. Puff. Golden core. A gleaming pill condensed in her dantian, her aura still climbing. Wu Li Sha stared, stunned. Golden core? Just like that? She'd spent a full year in seclusion and a fortune in treasures to condense hers, and this bastard just patted a girl's head. Li Mingju, overjoyed, grabbed my neck and planted a loud kiss on my face, then shrank away red-eared, and I turned to Wu Li Sha. Don't be fooled that she's more capable now. It won't be long before I make you surpass her, and then I'll have that former saintess serve you tea. Li Mingju beamed at Wu Li Sha. Pure provocation. Then, because she'd been so interested in my 5th-tier beast, I turned Li Mingju into the white fox right in front of her, and Wu Lisha's whole worldview took the hit. She'd suspected, but seeing a living person become a beast is different. And I told her, since you're my spirit beast now, with your purple aptitude, probably a 6th-tier one, it's time to choose your beast form. She'd rather self-destruct her core than become one of the things in the panel. So I paraded the options. A cute little pot-bellied pig, great for digging up spirit medicine. Her face went green. A glossy, 6-legged, indestructible cockroach. She nearly threw up. A hairless cat, wrinkled like a little old man, matches your aloof personality. A wealth-bringing toad. Li Mingju gleefully suggested the pig. Imagine her rolling in the mud. Wu Lisha screamed and broke down. Tears she was too proud to let fall, begging, "Can I not change?" The first favor she'd ever asked anyone. "No," I said, and watched hope die. Then, because I'd broken her enough for one day, I gave her a 3-day reprieve on the beast form. She lowered her head and sobbed and didn't argue. And I lay back on her fragrant couch and told my 2 jade beasts to begin cultivating and stop delaying my cultivation. And I went to sleep peacefully, while 2 of the most powerful, beautiful women in the sect sat in the dark and fed me their life's work. I woke to a catfight. Li Mingju and Wu Lixia, 2 aloof fairies who should be above worldly affairs, wrestling on the floor. No spells, just hair-pulling and face-scratching. Dresses torn, hair like birds' nests. Both stunning even in ruin. I separated them by the collars. And Li Mingju instantly went teary and pointed. She won't let me cultivate. And Wu Lixia explained, mortified, that all the spiritual power she cultivated kept vanishing. And I let her put it together herself. Didn't you notice my cultivation went up after a nap? And her guess dropped her into an icy abyss. She wasn't just a humiliated pet, she was a cauldron, feeding me. And she looked as if the last floor had dropped out from under her. Just then, Jiang Meiling's voice rolled across the whole sect. All outer sect members assemble at Falling Cloud Valley. I made Li Mingju fix her bird's nest hair back into a proper saintess, and the 3 of us, minus a fuming Wu Lixia, flew down. Falling Cloud Valley, the herb garden, now a field of fresh graves. 100+ new mounds, the atmosphere heavy as lead. Jiang Meiling stood on a raised platform, Su Qing beside her, several Golden Core elders behind. And when Li Mingju arrived, even Jiang Meiling's iceberg face cracked. Because the girl who'd been great perfection of foundation establishment the night the Heavenly Sword sect attacked was now, 1 night later, a living Golden Core. Overnight. Impossible. The elders looked like they'd seen a ghost, and I stood in the crowd, smug. This is nothing. Once my Jade Beast army is complete, we'll mass-produce Golden Cores for you. The disciples whispered. Senior Sister Li reached Golden Core. Impossible. And they eyed me too, because I was foundation establishment now, and the rumors said we were secretly engaged. And someone breathed the word dual cultivation, and 100 male hearts died. Make a bold guess, I thought. What you can imagine is the tip of the iceberg. Jiang Meiling addressed the assembly. 3 things. First, mourn the fallen. 137 had died protecting the sect. A moment of silence. Second, revenge. She swore on her own name to flatten 100 Swords Peak and make the Heavenly Sword sect pay in blood. The disciples roared. A blood debt must be paid in blood. Third, gratitude to Dansha Valley. Then the main event. Wu Lixia, as saintess, had betrayed the sect and was stripped of the title. And Li Mingju, by unanimous decision, was named the new saintess of the beast-taming sect. Uproar. Li Mingju stepped forward, cold and arrogant, and vowed to eradicate the Heavenly Sword sect and avenge the fallen. Fanatical cheers. And Jiang Meiling added one last thing. The once-a-decade Eastern Wasteland Secret Realm trial was less than half a month away, and the beast-taming sect would attend. And if any disciple met a Heavenly Sword member inside, don't hold back. Cripple them. The sect bears the consequences. Meanwhile, Guo Cheng sat in his hall, cold and silent, learning his cultivated successor, Wu Lixia, had simply vanished within the beast-taming sect's territory. Ding sent people to every allied sect to find her, dead or alive, captured or hidden. Jiang Meiling, he thought. You bitch. Back on Juechen Peak, I made Wu Lixia serve me, and Li Mingju came back spooked. Both Jiang Meiling and Su Qing had scanned her with divine sense. Being scanned by 2 old monsters who'd lived centuries felt like being stripped and thrown in the street. They suspected something. But the sect was wounded and needed manpower, so they'd suppressed their doubts for now. A ticking bomb. What are you afraid of? I said. Both of them will be mine sooner or later. Both women froze mid-motion and looked at me like I was insane. Sectmaster is a nascent soul now. So what? I said. When I was chi refining, I set my sights on late Golden Core. Now I'm foundation establishment. Is it strange I'm eyeing nascent soul? And I pointed at Wu Lixia, who flushed liver-colored. Then I interrogated Wu Lixia about why she'd infiltrated the sect. Under the contract, she couldn't lie to me. For, she said at last, the world-purifying glazed lamp, an acquired spirit treasure the old founder had won 100 years ago, with a heaven-defying effect.
It cleanses the Tao heart, washes away heart demons, purifies all defilement, makes you more in harmony with the great Tao. Priceless, because the higher you cultivate, the deadlier the heart demon, and this lamp erased it. The founder had escaped an ambush with it and vanished it into seclusion. It was probably in Jiang Meiling's hands, and probably why she'd broken through so smoothly. With her clear sword spirit, Wu Lixia said, eyes lit with longing, that lamp would let me step into nascent soul within 10 years. So I turned to Li Mingzhu. Do you want it? She nodded like a chick pecking rice. Only a fool wouldn't. I leaned in for a kiss as payment, and she, competitive to the bone, pecked my grinning face while glaring at a murderous Wu Lixia, and I promised to find a way to get the lamp. Another thing to steal, filed away. And I set Wu Lixia a punishment for refusing her share of the barter. From today, read me a trashy romance novel every night before bed. The Overlord Master fell in love with me. She nearly tore it apart. Then I made her hand over her natal flying sword, the Lixia sword, as my mount. For a sword cultivator, that's worse than death. A sword more important than her life. She cried humiliated tears and did it anyway, because I'd threatened worse. And the sword, bound by the contract, felt only affection and joy toward me, which baffled and horrified her. What is this contract? And I flew off on it whistling. Then I remembered, mid-flight, that half the sect knew this was Wu Lixia's sword, and me riding it screamed that I was close to her. So I disguised it into a plain, rough old blade, and I flew down to the outer sect to check on Xu Guang. I found him half dead on his bed, wounds everywhere, some scabbed, some fresh, breath faint, on the edge. Wang Yang taking out his hatred for me on the one person I couldn't leave undefended. And when Xu Guang, seeing me, weakly begged me not to be impulsive. Don't force yourself to stand up for me. I'll be fine in a couple days. Something in me went very quiet and very cold. I fed him high-grade healing pills. I treated his wounds. Get some rest, I said, and I walked out without another word. That night, in a cold rain, I brought Li Mingzhu and Wu Lixia, both in tight black dresses, and floated silently to Wang Yang's little courtyard, where he was busy with a girl, boasting that Li Mingzhu would warm his bed every night. Li Mingzhu, listening from above, spat and turned scarlet. And I walked in. Wang Yang, isn't your target senior sister Li giving up so quickly? Ding went for a killing palm, and this time it didn't send me flying. His wrist got caught by a hand that didn't look strong. Snap, his arm broke. Weren't you very impressive beating up my brother? I stomped his chest, kicked out his teeth, a punch and a kick for every humiliation he'd ever put on me and Xu Guang. My grandfather is an outer elder, he threatened weakly, and that's when he crushed his summoning jade. Wang Tianhai's aura roared up from a nearby pavilion. It's here. A ferocious smile spread across Wang Yang's bloodied face. Li Fan, you're dead. I slowly raised my foot, and I brought it down on his dantian. Snap, his cultivation ruined. Just as Wang Tianhai burst in, when he saw his grandson treated like a dead dog, trampled under my feet, his old eyes turned bloodshot. Li Fan, great perfection of foundation establishment pressure crashed down. Today, no one can save you. Ding summoned his natal azure python, thick as a bucket, dozens of feet long. In your early stage foundation, how much power can that 5th-tier beast unleash? Today, you have no choice but to die. My smile widened. Then let me show you my spirit beast. Space rippled, and Li Mingzhu and Wu Lixia emerged in tight black dresses, golden core auras filling the room. Wang Tianhai's smugness died. Mingzhu? Lord Saintus? Both of them? Li Fan's spirit beasts. His worldview shattered. The python trembled and pressed itself flat, not daring to lift its head. Cut this little black worm into pieces, I said. Li Mingzhu flicked her fingers, and the python was shredded, foul blood everywhere. Wang Tianhai spat blood from the backlash of his natal beast dying. I dragged Wang Yang over by the head like a chick and kicked him in front of the old man, who scrambled to his knees, kowtowing, offering to cripple his own cultivation and leave forever. Please, give us a way to survive. Kill them, I said, casual, to Li Mingzhu, and she hesitated. On instinct, killing fellow disciples is a major taboo, and my face went cold, and I walked toward her, and the warmth left my eyes. What, tired of being saintess? Playing the saint? And she saw the terrifying version of me, and understood that everything she had came from me, and went white, and rushed to fix her mistake. But Wu Lixia was faster. She flashed forward and killed both Wangs with sword chi, then burned the bodies to ash. Because she'd seen my expression and grabbed the chance to sabotage Li Mingzhu's standing, to leave a stain of disobedience on her that could never be erased. And Li Mingzhu understood exactly what that bitch had done, and glared. And Wu Lixia turned away with a smug little smile that said, "Let's see what you do now." There was one more person in the room, a trembling female disciple in the bed, Wang Yang's companion. I wiped her memory of the whole night. An unnecessary kindness, Wu Lixia thought, but I don't kill witnesses when I don't have to. Then I made Li Mingzhu clean the scene, an obedience lesson. She swept the ashes out the window, washed the blood, and stood there, fists clenched, having learned exactly where she stood. A tool in my hand. Replace her, abandon her, at any time. And Wu Lixia watched with cold satisfaction. The spiciness of the past days finally subsided a little. Then I went back to Xu Guang. Ding heard me come in and jumped. Are you all right? Seeing his worry, warmth spread in my chest. What could be wrong with me? Wang Yang,
Wang Yang and Wang Tianhai, I said, casual, like it was nothing. They're all dead. His pupils shrank. Dead? You killed them? This matter has nothing to do with you, I said. Even if this hadn't happened, I'd have killed them sooner or later. Just cultivate, no guilt. And I gave him a bag of 100 spirit stones. If you need anything, come find me at the inner sect. And Xu Guang watched me leave, and felt, for the first time, an unbridgeable chasm open between us. The same person who used to shovel manure beside him and get punished with him. Is this the Li Fan who got beaten up at the arena? Ding didn't know. Ding only knew that from today, between him and me, there was a gulf he could never cross. The Wang's disappearance became the sect's unsolved mystery, blamed on heavenly sword remnants. It even reached the sect master, who came down to investigate and found nothing. And I lounged on Juechen Peak, a fox and a snake feeding me, cracked open my folk novel, and checked the price of the third contract slot. 3,000 value, 10 times the second. The fourth, 30,000. System, this is blatant robbery. I gave Wu Lixia a new nickname, Little Yueyu, purely to watch her nearly chi deviate mid-cultivation. Little Yue, cultivate is taking this so seriously? She glared, murder in her cold eyes. And I made her read the trashy novel aloud every night before bed. Then I made her sit on my lap to pick a beast form. She refused, until I described a giant red-bottomed spider, 8 legs, all hairy. She nearly fainted. Then she chose the least offensive option. A small black snake, a foot long, carved from jade dark, with tiny crystal horns on its head. Cold and elegant, exactly like her. Is that enough? She asked, glaring. It suits your temperament perfectly, I said. Then she made a request I did not expect. Let me go back to the Heavenly Sword sect. It was an escape plan, obviously. Get back to her own sect, where her master, Guo Cheng, and a dozen elders could try to break the contract. But she pitched it as loyalty. I'm the sect's leader. My resources there are inexhaustible. Let me go back and cultivate fast, so you get stronger faster. And I'll help you deal with Jiang Meiling. I played along, pretending to be tempted. When I said I couldn't bear to part with her, she nearly choked on her own scheme, promising she couldn't run. The secret realm was coming and we'd meet there anyway. And besides, I could summon her any time. Perfect logic. Flawless. So I agreed, with one condition. Change into an outfit first. I put the bunny outfit on Li Mingzhu, in front of her mortal enemy Wu Lixia, to Li Mingzhu's absolute mortification. Then I put a maid cafe outfit on Wu Lixia, and it was, objectively, devastating. Noble and aloof and shy and adorable all at once. And both of us swallowed hard. And then I bought a Jade Beast collar, a beautiful silver piece with a purple crystal. That let me watch and summon her anywhere, and that bore, hidden against her skin, a tiny engraving. Li Fan's Jade Beast, Wu Lixia. I locked it on her neck. I twisted the crystal so the words faced inward. Now nobody can see it, I said. Fool, and I let her go. Then I watched, on the collar's surveillance feed, from the comfort of Li Mingzhu's bed, as Wu Lixia returned to the Heavenly Sword sect and lied to her master Guo Cheng and a dozen golden core elders, and let them run a golden light array to break the contract. It failed. The array touched the chains on her divine soul and vanished like a clay ox in the sea. And then the chains counterattacked, and the whole array backfired, and Guo Cheng and every elder spat blood at once. And Guo Cheng barely severed the connection in time, and Wu Lixia sat in the center, ashen, in total despair. And I laughed and asked Li Mingzhu, still trying to run. Li Mingzhu swore up and down that she wasn't tempted at all. Sure. Then it was time for the secret realm. The morning we left, Li Mingzhu came to me carefully dressed, black gown, gold saintess token, gorgeous and nervous, because Jiang Meiling had made her lead the whole beast-taming sect delegation to the trial, an honor that felt like a dream. On the flagship, in a luxurious cabin, she sat me down, made me a cup of tea, sat on my lap under protest, and briefed me. The Eastern Wasteland's secret realm has 3 layers. The first, Ling Mountain, a range hundreds of miles wide, for Foundation establishment cultivators to hunt treasure and dodge vicious beasts. The second, Water Moon Cave Heaven, deeper, richer, deadlier, for golden core cultivators, where she'd go. The third, the pure land of lapis lazuli, appears randomly, where even nascent souls have died, only the boldest venture. And, she added, the world-purifying glaze lamp the founder found probably came from this very secret realm. She warned me, over and over, to stay shallow, stay safe, call her back if I hit danger, and I nodded like a good boy while planning to do exactly the opposite. Because the greater the risk, the higher the reward. The golden rule of immortal land. We arrived at a vast plain where a huge circular space twisted and rotated like the maw of a beast, packed with cultivators from every sect, flying treasures spears blotting the sky, banners flying. On the highest jade platform sat the nascent soul-old monsters of the whole eastern wasteland, and at the absolute center, a woman in a moon-white divine robe with a galaxy flowing across it, whose beauty didn't belong to this world, whose eyes held the stars and the sea. Yan Ziyi, leader of the Eastern Wasteland Immortal Alliance. Half-step spirit transformation, a walking nuclear warhead so far above everyone that almost no one dared even look at her. And of course, being me, I looked
and thought, if only she could become my Jade Beast. A horrified senior brother nearly fainted, warning me to lower my eyes. That's the Alliance leader. Offend her, and you won't even know how you died. Yan Ziyi waved one hand, and the twisting space stabilized into a massive portal of faint blue light, and her clear, ethereal voice said, "The secret realm is now open. Go inside and find opportunity." The orderly crowd erupted into chaos, streaks of light surging into the portal like carp crossing a river. Li Mingzhu, ever the professional, organized the beast-taming sect disciples into orderly groups, 10 at a time, all while shooting me looks whenever she caught me admiring the Alliance leader. When it was our turn, she slipped me a thick stack of high-grade talismans, stolen from the sect treasury. Use them sparingly. Her voice a mosquito's buzz. I teased her about a saintess abusing her power for family income already. She blushed and grabbed my hand, and we dove into the blue portal together. The world spun and stretched, and her hand, the soft, cool little hand I was holding tightly, vanished from mine in an instant. When I landed, there was no trace of her. Just towering ancient trees, strange vines, the primal smell of grass and soil. And far off, the roar of some vicious beast deep in the mountains. Random teleport. Separated on the first level, Ling Mountain. Alone. I wasn't in a hurry. Are you kidding? Foundation establishment early stage. Running around a place like this is asking to die. So I found the biggest, leafiest ancient tree. I sat in its shade, and I opened the collar feed to check on my newest Jade Beast. And that's where part 1 leaves me. A collared saintess halfway across a killing field. A fox in my sleeve. A snake on a leash. A nascent soul sect master, and a half-step goddess circling somewhere overhead. Both suspicious, both circling closer, and the sect's #1 trash, the boy who couldn't make a rat live long enough to bond with him, who broke every record in a beast-taming sect by contracting the 2 proudest women in it. 1 bunny outfit and 1 dung ladle at a time. 9 failed contracts, and then a system that let a nobody collect goddesses. Here's the thing though, every jump so far, I was the one holding the leash, the one watching the feed, the one who couldn't be touched. Inside that secret realm, that stops, because I'm about to meet the woman who found the black armor, and the thing on the mountaintop that even half-step spirit transformation can't reach. And I'm about to make a choice that puts a mark on me I can never scrub off. Not a collar I put on someone else, one I carry. Ask me again when we're inside. That's when the trash finally meets the thing bigger than him.